We'll do it live.
Welcome to Nerd Side Chance. We'll just do it live. Let's do it. Welcome to your weekly installment of all things nerd. We're going to be covering, of course, this week, what would a bunch of nerds talk about this week other than Superman? We're going to talk about the movie, how we liked it, how we didn't like it, how it's performing, how it's not performing. We got a lot of comments in the queue. We got a lot of topics to get to. I want to start with something asinine and kind of inside baseball and silly. All right, just to get us going. All right, is anybody else just like a little bit annoyed that the movie is just called Superman and it makes it really hard to talk about it in comparison to the 1978 Superman? And then like it gets, you just like, it has really hindered me quite a few times. Is anybody else experiencing that?
Nah, you say Superman 25.
Just say 25. Yeah, 25 and 78 now, right?
I think a marketing faux pas is that they did not have, and I noticed this when I was doing the hashtags and everything for the videos. Oh, we got the ice cream truck coming in.
Harry had a little lamb. Right.
But
that's the wrong music for this.
I noticed when I was doing the hashtags and everything, there's no like unique hashtag for just this movie, and I think that was something, you know.
Yeah.
There was no unique hashtag for just this movie.
Yeah, because it all blends in with the rest of it. But yeah,
for sure.
We'll get into the weeds about the movie and the various characters, but we want to go to the comments and we'll see. Thug Dog says, "How can anyone defend the opening weekend for this movie?"
I would like to do that, actually.
All right, Jonathan, you go ahead because you're not going to find.
I've been trying in the group text, so
go ahead and wow me, Jonathan.
I hadn't some data. I actually have some data here. If we look at every single James Gunn film that's come out ever, well, superhero film, Superman is the second highest grossing James Gunn film opening weekend of all time, right under Guardians 2, which debuted at 146 million. Superman debuted at 122 million domestic, which is nothing to scoff at. I knew that was going to be the theme of this stream. So I have a little bit of data here. And if we go all the way back to 2022, Superman is only, actually, if we look at just the biggest opening weekend since the end of 2023, Superman has only been beat out by Deadpool and Wolverine, Minecraft, Inside Out 2, Lilo and Stitch, and Moana 2, which almost all those films are billion-dollar films, and there's only one that didn't quite hit $1 billion. So I would say that's pretty good company, wouldn't you, Jason? Darkman?
Well, it did get stomped just like 1 week prior.
Yeah, sorry, I'm so dark.
Part. So you
by a terrible Jurassic
Park.
Jurassic World Rebirth, also way bigger opening. So you missed that one.
Well, that we're talking worldwide numbers, and I guarantee you, at the end of its box office run, both films, Superman. Well, I don't want to guarantee that, but I think that Superman's going to outgross Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, whatever you want to call it.
Whoa! I don't know about all that,
very,
John.
very likely. because word of mouth is a mofo.
I want to mark the timestamp for this prediction. Now, like before they were released, I would have agreed with you, but that had
word
the
of mouth is a mofo,
opening.
Dan. And if something has terrible word of mouth, like Jurassic World, it's
an
going to
awful
continue
movie
to decline more and more and more. Superman, on the other hand, has already set records for the highest grossing Tuesday of 2025, the highest grossing Wednesday of 2025. What are you guys?
By the way, it got up to 312 today. I was just a day early.
Yeah, this film is on pace to maybe get close to $1 billion.
I think it'll make $700 million.
Guys.
There's movies that open twice as big that aren't going to get to
What movie opens twice as big?
Minecraft's not going to make
Minecraft. You said movies. What's the other one?
Well, I don't know. Do we think that Rebirth? Listen, do we think Rebirth hits $1 billion?
No, I don't.
No.
Because it's about to be out of a bunch of theaters overseas.
It's going to stop around 800 mil.
It opened at
376,
wasn't it? It was like 376. So
yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's take a step back. All right. Jonathan was very, very good at presenting some very skewed data. Let's take a look at some actual facts here. Okay.
Skewed? That's facts.
So,
Tim, that's facts.
No, I agree. You compared Superman to Guardians 2. Now, Jonathan, let me ask you this. Which of those should be the higher grossing IP?
I would say Guardians because Guardians.
Wait, no. It's a very simple question.
Before I was interrupted,
which of those two should be a higher grossing IP? It's not that hard of a question.
Look at the biggest comic book opening since the end of 2022. Superman's only second place.
Jonathan, answer the question. Answer the question. Which of those should be a higher grossing IP?
I'm sorry. Repeat the question, Tim.
Which of those should be a higher grossing IP?
Which IP? Guardians 2 or Superman?
Well, yes.
I would say in this scenario, Guardians 2, because
on, Jonathan.
Listen, let me
that's bold.
Can I explain?
You know that's bold.
Can I explain?
Superman
let him explain.
Be a higher.
Can I explain?
Jonathan, you know how to raise up.
The reason I would say that is because once again, I've been saying this for the past year. I've been saying that the DCU had a really uphill battle to fight because of how awful the reputation of the DCEU was. I love Henry.
I don't think that's it.
Wait a minute. I do. I think that's a huge part of it. General audiences don't know the difference between Henry Cavill Superman, the DCEU, and we saw that audiences gave up on the DCEU. They abandoned the DCEU with Blue Beetle, The Flash, Joker, Wally Adu. Audiences
none of those movies are freaking Superman, Jonathan. This is DC. Superman.
They're DC.
Okay.
And
it doesn't matter. That's not it. Superman just on its surface should be $1 billion IP bar none. And if it's not, this DCU is in trouble, and that's the problem that we had with the opening weekend. Same thing with Batman. If Brave and the Bold does not come out gunslinging, it's going to be the same thing. We need to have these title characters that are the big three being very successful. This is why I believe Dan was correct. I believe I heard him say this at one point. Starting with Superman was a mistake. If I was James Gunn and I'm known for doing awkward things, and I know that I got to start by building my big three, personally, I would have started with Wonder Woman so that if it was underwhelming on the box office, you still could say, well, I've got Superman. You can't do that now. All right. That's the problem that I have with what they're facing now. I liked the movie. I thought the movie was good. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter if nobody else goes to see it. This isn't Disney where they can pour money down a rat hole and promise the return later on. You can't do that. So, do you know what the current assets of Disney are right now, Jonathan?
Is that beeping on your end or my end?
Not on my end. I don't know.
Let me go see what that is before an alien comes in and kills me. Hopefully, everybody's refreshed. Everybody's refreshed.
Okay.
We're still online, right? You talked about assets for Disney, and we just about got shut down, Tim. Do not disrespect the mouse.
No. So he
will come and
here's the thing.
But
he's always talking about Superman, Tim.
the
assets do not matter. You guys keep bringing that up.
Listen,
I don't agree with
current
that.
assets for Disney are $195 billion. That is almost twice as much as Warner Brothers. They can afford to have mediocre things in a big universe and keep pushing it down the road. Warner Brothers can't afford to do that. That's exactly the point.
Tell you guys
they don't have the same resources, man. They just don't. Everything has to be measurably profitable.
Let me tell you guys something that you're not ready to hear.
Okay.
I'm at a point now where I think that box office totals don't matter anymore.
See, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Let me explain.
No, they matter.
Let me explain why.
They matter.
I don't think they do, and here's why. The same reason that we're seeing this DEI, there's the gay agenda that in all these films, it is, at the end of the day, these companies are more beholden to shareholders. And when I say shareholders, I mean 1 or 2 or 3 really large shareholders specifically.
What do shareholders like, Jonathan?
What?
What do shareholders like?
They like money, but here's
money, Jonathan. Now you're catching on.
We're talking shareholders. Tim, we're talking shareholders that have more money than most governments. And I may sound like a conspiracy nut, but in the next month or so, I'm going to have someone on my show that discusses this anonymously that works for a studio. And I don't know if you guys have ever went down the rabbit hole of Vanguard and BlackRock, but those companies, those companies and shareholders control a lot more than we all would like to know.
They use our money because it's where our retirement accounts are held,
right?
And they vote the shares and direct the world. So yeah, I know what that is. But okay, I have some takes, but I'm going to cede the floor to Darkman because he's been shouted down. I need the shadowy figure.
Jonathan and I need a cold hose and let Jason talk for a minute.
Yeah, you guys take a break. Okay. I'm going to continue to take a break. Jason had some points to make. I'm going to let him make them. Oh, he freezes. His connection freezes. We cede the floor.
Is Sub-Zero there?
You said Disney 3 times, Tim. That's what happened.
Okay. Hey, they didn't freeze me. They froze him.
All right. One thing does not always sell at shops. Like he's not. What?
Oh, jeez. We're having trouble, man.
We good?
Is
that my internet or is that y'all?
Jason, yeah, it must be yours because you're the only one that's slow right now.
Warner Brothers has enough money to shut us down.
Okay. Jason, you must be John
Go
Cena.
back out and come back in. Go back out.
You gotta leave and come back.
You gotta
leave and come back.
All right, 1 second.
Hey,
yeah.
Hit these comments down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the comments, and we're good. Let me hold on. I'm gonna remove Jason and then put him back when he jumps back in because we seated him on the floor and then the internet let him down.
I'm just reading the comments from Derpy. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I will say that here's the thing. Disney can play a shell game with profits because they have parks and all this other stuff. They'll be like, oh, the movie didn't make any money, but we're going to make money because people go to theme parks to celebrate movies they haven't seen. And for some reason, shareholders buy that, even though it's complete nonsense. Warner Brothers has nowhere to hide the fact that they're not.
Nowhere to hide.
But let's get down there. Darpy says, hey, guys. And he goes, let me get this bigger because I'm old. Tim sounding like that one Kendrick Lamar song.
I don't even know which one you're talking about. Okay. I don't even know which Kendrick song you're talking about.
Me and Tim are old. Just let you know right now, me and Tim are very old. Let's see. Hey, Jonathan, do you know what song he's referring to?
I don't know right off the top of my head, but I'm also very slow. So maybe name the song and then I can probably sing it for you.
Okay. Derpy says, Tim, guess what? This is what we all think about your comments. A1, A1, A1.
A1, that's my favorite move. And my favorite steak sauce as well.
Tim is Lex Luthor in a nutshell right now. Certified Superman hater. And Jason got that McDonald's.
Dude, Derpy's coming off of the top rope.
Yeah. Oh, Derpy wins the internet. Derpy wins the internet. Uncontested. All right. I will move to the next comment. And we're going to make room for Jason. And hopefully his internet doesn't do him dirty again. Johnson says nothing. Says, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I hate that it can't gain traction at the box office. Why do you think that is? Okay.
I think we just talked about it.
It's a leading question, but we'll let Jason have the floor.
Okay. Not getting traction at the box office is kind of a crazy take. It is the #1 movie in the world right now.
Huh?
It's the #1 movie in the world right now. I seen the headline.
Hey, that's the problem. Dan,
This is what an aneurysm feels like. I can't believe I had to
information
explain this to Jason.
Hey,
you need
I'm
to start
trying new
looking at
stuff.
major trades.
Yeah.
People that
But
people that don't have agendas.
right
Wink,
here
wink.
for Superman. Not to mention the entire year, the film needed to pack more punch. Obviously, the following weeks will tell the true box office tell, but this has to be viewed as a slightly underwhelming start.
Second highest grossing superhero movie since 2022. The only film that's beat it.
You're
was
talking
Deadpool.
about a
Good
sample size
superhero
of
movies
garbage.
have we had since then, Jonathan? That's a garbage stat because you cherry picked the timeline. This is
the
super.
Spider-Verse, Guardians 3. I think that those
Spider-Verse. You're comparing this to an animated Spider-Man movie.
Underbolts, yes, a very
Okay.
good
All
animated.
right.
All right. I had to see if I could do that. If I could share something. So I just wanted to see if I could make that pop up on the screen because here at Nerd Champs, like a character from another franchise we've been running, we spare no expense. But we're actually not very good at any of this stuff. And I had that lined up before we started. I wanted to see if it would work. But anyway, I'm going to give the floor back to Jason.
But
Go
mean,
ahead, Jason.
To admit, like right now, like on the list this week, what was the number one movie?
It was Superman.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It should have been.
Okay.
It
Wait.
opened number one.
Now Jason, what was the number two movie? Who did it beat? That's the thing. What was the number two movie?
I believe it beat out Jurassic World this week.
Okay, but was that in its second weekend or its third?
Didn't it?
I don't think we're going to. Hey, don't play that over the thing. We're getting a copyright strike, man. Sing it if you want to.
So
they've already said Disney 3 times.
Here's the whole problem with measuring it off of it's the number one movie. Okay, it should have been the number one movie.
Yeah,
it should have been the number one movie by a lot more. It should have been the number one movie by a lot more. That's like saying, okay, Alabama beat Alcorn State by 3 points. Well, they were the number one team. They were supposed to beat them, but it should have been by more than 3 points. Okay. We're taking a look at this box office. It's a very underwhelming box office. There's just no way around it, guys.
I agree with that, but
it's a different time.
Like this is the end of the world, as some people have. I'm not saying you are, but some people are acting like this is like the whole universe.
It's very
screwed.
concerning. I mean,
this is a different time, Tim. We have to all adjust our expectations post COVID. Things are different now. Not you guys, Tim and Dan. You mentioned this a week or two ago, or a couple days ago. People don't care as much about superhero films, and I think personally, people don't care as much about movies as they used to. Honestly.
That blanket statement.
A year removed from Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, it can be done with the right marketing, with the right characters, with the right promotion. All
they
that
had the marketing
can be done.
But they had the marketing.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
Only one or 2 weeks prior, Rebirth opens to $370 million. So saying that the time and it can't be done because people don't go to the movies, that doesn't work because Rebirth hits 370. Minecraft hits over 300 on its opening weekend, crushes expectations. So Derpy has a question. Is this the film DC have needed ever since the first Iron Man? As a desperate DC fan, I think it is.
I agree with that.
I mean, if they want a universe to be established, yes, this is and we're going to get into the film here in a little bit. We actually all like the movie. Okay.
Yeah, loved it.
I just don't see how it's going to be sustainable for a universe if this is your premier character and this is the box office.
I don't think Superman is the premier character. I will argue that down. Just because, like I said, working in like comic book shops, nobody buys Superman. They buy Batman.
He's up
or
there.
Justice
He's in the
League.
Trinity.
But
I mean, he is in the Trinity, but so is Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman does not do that kind of comic sales.
Yeah. DC only has 3 premier characters: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Batman's not on the horizon. Wonder Woman has been fast-tracked. So, there's hope on the horizon with Wonder Woman, but she's going to have to open bigger than this. So
Yeah.
anyway.
And that's going to be a tall order. I mean, especially given what we've got coming up for the DCU. We know that Supergirl is coming up. We know that The Authority is coming up. Those are probably not going to be huge grossing films, right? Those are not going to be huge grossing films.
I could see Supergirl.
I don't think neither one of them is going to be a huge grossing film. That's just all there is to it.
Based on the stinger, I don't think Supergirl is going to be family friendly.
Yeah, you're showing me that Superman is getting beat out by a Hawaiian Girl sequel musical that's animated. Okay,
a movie
that's
not the win.
That's
$1 billion, Tim.
Yeah, God, I know it is. I know. You know why? Because that is what you do.
Let me say something. You guys are getting so caught up with the opening weekend. The opening weekend doesn't mean jack shit compared to the final box office growth. That's all that matters. I don't care if they opened at $50 million. If it makes $1 billion, who cares?
Okay,
it's not going to make
when
$1
it
billion.
gets $1 billion, get back to me, John. I'll say you were right when it makes $1 billion. Okay.
What we're saying is, was this a bad opening weekend? Even if it makes $1 billion, we can all say that this opening weekend was a little small and it was a hill to overcome. It had to have longer legs than you would hope to make that happen. Superhero movies are traditionally front loaded. They traditionally only make total at the box office 3 to 3.5 times their opening weekend. So anyway, Hope has a question. And I want to keep these people involved. Said the choice to skip the origin story, best move ever or a missed opportunity. What do you guys?
Good move, great move. I never need to see that stupid Krypton planet explode again.
Yeah,
I think
Zach.
We're all just so tired of origin stories. I think that's the big thing. We've seen the origin story. And the great thing about comic book fans is how many of us have actually read from issue 1 Superman all the way through the run? Nobody. When we picked up comic books when we were growing up, this is exactly like what we would have done. We would have picked it up in the middle of a run and gone back the next time to get the next issue. This is exactly kind of what it was like. That's why comic book fans are really going to enjoy it.
Yeah. This is, again, I had said this in one of our reviews that all of us read Superman comics. All of us read comics. We weren't alive in the 1930s.
I didn't want to see a Krypton movie about this guy or Krypton origin story. Yeah, he was awful.
We're gonna get to that.
But here's the thing: if you'd have told the origin story, you wouldn't have been able to do a twist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They packed the twist into the movie. You got to skip the origin to make the twist work. So anyway, Jason's up for Wolverine. We didn't know that. He's going to beat out Calverine. He's going to knock him out.
No, I agree. I disagree, Derpy. We cannot cast a ginger as Wolverine. The fans will revolt.
At Derpy's defense, he can't tell that Jason is a ginger right now. Jason is dark.
Yeah, I know.
I can't see Jason.
I'm in the shadows, much like Batman.
Yeah. And the Derpy box office numbers, what's the deal with that? They're low. That's the deal. And Jason and Jonathan. Jason and Jonathan.
They're at 312 million now. 2 nights.
Let me ask you guys something. Just kind of a generalized decision that was made by James Gunn that I think was a little odd. I mean, this movie was announced a long time ago. I think it was announced in the original Phase 1 lineup probably 2-3 years ago. And this weekend was just kind of an odd choice because the holiday weekend was the weekend before, probably would have got a little more gross had they done that, right? And Jurassic World wasn't announced until January of last year. So they just looked over and they were like, oh, July 4th, boom. And they ended up outgrossing this movie. Do you think that was just kind of a bad decision by Gunn? What do you guys think?
I think they should have gone on the 4th.
I think it should have been the 4th. It would have been money in the bag. I don't know why they didn't do it.
Hey, what's the deal with this box office?
What's the deal with the box office?
It's a box to be really high, but it's not really high.
Why do they call it the box office? Is there a box in an office? I don't get it.
Anyway. I want his take on this movie because Seinfeld is, of course, a huge Superman fan. So I would like to know.
If you've never seen the Superman episode of Seinfeld,
what's the deal with that? Yeah, so hey,
does Dean Cain make an appearance in that episode?
No, he does not. But his girlfriend's name is Lois. So anyway,
All right.
So, yeah.
I'm going to try something. This is a tangent, but I want to see if this works. I want to get reactions, right? I've been researching, right? And I've got a presentation to give you guys on the entire history of Superman in cinema. Let's see if this works.
Draw an S for snake or dragon or whatever. Next, we'll draw a more different S. Whoa. Wait a minute. I think I need to start over. This thing doesn't look natural. Okay, starting again, the same way. S, more different S. That looks really good. Oh, yeah. Check out all his majesty.
So
to me looks
Hey,
like
man.
a
missed
video
any
that was,
chapters in the history of Superman on cinema at all.
that to me looks like a video that was created by somebody who is incredibly biased against Henry Cavill Superman.
Hey, man. We will not.
I am incredibly
not-
biased against Henry Cavill.
We will not speak bad. We will not speak.
Oh, by the
bad
way,
about-
Henry Cavill Superman outgrossed
strong
this
bad.
film in his
Yeah.
opening weekend.
Yeah,
And
you're
Dan
right.
on this show did say to beat the man, you gotta, or to be the man, you gotta beat the man. It looks
Hey.
like David Corenswet isn't the man.
You're the one making the argument that he is. Well, actually, I haven't made much of an argument. You and Tim
Well,
have said
I'm
about
just
the
taking your words
oxygen
from
a
the
lot.
show, Dan. You said this
Yeah.
a few months back. You said
Yeah,
if
no,
David
I'm
Corenswet
telling you.
doesn't beat Henry Cavill's opening box office, he is not the man. And I tend to agree with you. I think you,
Yeah,
you were right
I'm
on
telling
point
you
with
right now. Listen,
It's a very underwhelming box office. There's just no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. It
Didn't
is.
quite live up to Henry Cavill.
why
Didn't
was
quite live
Andrew
up to
Garfield-
expectations, and WB should be worried.
Yeah,
There you go.
why was Andrew Garfield?
If
never
only he
accepted
would have
Spider-Man?
he would have saved this movie from a wait, what?
Yeah, but Andrew Garfield was never accepted as Spider-Man, right? He never got over until recently with the No Way Home feature, but he couldn't measure up to Tobey Maguire. And even though, I mean, Amazing Spider-Man is not a bad movie. If it had came out first, people would have hailed him as a great Spider-Man. But to beat the man, you got to beat the man. I'm telling you, as of right now, David Corenswet is not the man. If he can't get ahead of or close to where Cavill is in the public eye, he will not be Superman.
As
Just
they
like-
say,
I'll go a
Dan.
step further. I'll go a step further, Dan. I'll go a step further and say that I think that WB is going to have serious conversations if the box office doesn't start picking up. Okay. I'd say 700 is the floor. If it makes under 700, there are going to be real conversations about continuing this universe.
I disagree with that.
Real conversations.
Derpy
This
is
film-
calling out the popcorn bowl. Look, this is proof positive. Tim and I actually really enjoyed this movie. We really liked it. Not only did
We
I
did.
buy all the swag, I'm proudly repping all the swag. I'm used to loving things that other people don't. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't
But
dissuade my opinion. of it.
Everyone liked it.
Everyone
Like
liked
that's the
this movie,
thing.
Dan.
That's
Everyone liked this movie, but here's the thing. Even if this film finishes with 500 million, which it won't, but even if it finishes as low as 500 million, it's still going to be viewed as a success in the grand scheme of things, because ultimately you have to sway audiences, because right now they have zero confidence in DC as a whole. Because much as I love Cavill, the DCEU was a failure. Audiences literally abandoned it 4 or 5 movies with 4 or 5 movies left. So if you can sway that opinion, that public opinion, and slowly push out these movies that are all good, Supergirl needs to be good. Superman was good. So that's half the battle. You can eventually turn things around and people will start showing up more and more in droves. But right now, I think that was their biggest hurdle.
I mean, I'll say this. I thoroughly expect Supergirl to be good. I thoroughly expect to really enjoy it. But I don't expect it to be a box office hit, because
No way.
it's going to be
No
adult
way.
themed. It's going to be at least PG-13. She's going to be drinking and running into Lobo. You know what I'm saying? So,
Is there a chance that it does Thor numbers, the first Thor movie numbers?
We're talking
Yeah,
700-800.
I mean, adjust it for inflation.
It can. There's no doubt about it, especially if people start to get a little traction for the universe. But the character itself is not enough to just pull. People are really going to have to see what the movie's about and decide they want to go see it.
That
Timing
show
is gonna
was
be
kind of
everything.
popular, wasn't it?
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. But I think it's going to depend on what comes out around it. I think that's going to be a really, really big part of it. You know,
Derpy wants to recognize that depressed S stands for hope. I think I know that. I think Strong Bad had it right, don't you? I mean, I think he kind of got.
We love.
Well, Strong Bad always
Bad.
has it right.
Yeah,
the cheat,
Who's Strong Bad?
The cheat. We put the light switch in so the cheat can turn on and off the lights.
The cheat, man. Where did we go wrong?
Depressed
I'm
Henry
old.
Cavill. Depressed Henry Cavill. What's the deal with that? We got to stand Superman.
He wasn't depressed. He was just a swoldier, Dan.
Yeah, to be that
Dude,
swole and that sad is kind of
Surly.
confusing.
He's so surly.
Yeah.
Well, he still beat you guys' favorite Superman, so
Nah, whoa.
I guess he's still the man.
First of all,
Yeah.
he did not beat my favorite Superman because my favorite.
This
Superman
is our
Christopher
actual. This is our actual live stream, Derpy.
Yeah.
Okay, the other one is
Thursdays
our
at
live
9.
loop. Yeah, the other one is our live loop. It is all of our Superman content just looping together, which this will be part of shortly. But this is our actual live stream. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The live
yeah.
stream where you could talk to us.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes,
ready?
exactly.
Yeah. The other one is just a loop. Yeah. We probably should have shut that down. But see, we're scamming
It worked.
the system. I'm going to admit this out loud. If we shut it down, we can't turn it back on because we're not paying for our StreamYard, and it doesn't know to turn us off as long as it goes 24/7. You know, if the power goes out at my house, that loop will be dead.
It's over.
You know, we won't be able to get it back.
Dan's telling all of our YouTube secrets right here.
Yeah, there's
okay?
your inside baseball.
Expose, if you will.
But
Okay,
since Jonathan brought it up, I'm gonna go ahead and get a negative out of the way. As much as I like this movie, which I really, really like this movie, it ain't Superman 1 or 2.
Or Man of Steel.
No, it's
See,
way better
you
than
know,
Man of Steel. Man of Steel.
The farther here's the thing. I always enjoyed Superman 1 and 2. I always did. Having rewatched 2 very recently for a review, Dan and I will openly admit that probably 2 was nothing more than nostalgia and good feelings in our mind. There were so many special effects that weren't even really good at the time. I watched Donner.
Okay,
Yeah, those movies do not hold up, Jason. Even the first.
Yeah, and I'll openly say
I disagree. I love those movies.
They don't hold up.
Okay.
I have a nostalgic soft spot for both. I will say 78 holds up better than Superman 2,
Yes.
even though it's an older movie.
Absolutely.
I'll go that far, but I still like Superman 2 better than I do Man of Steel.
There's still a lot of things that are very, very much like Star Trek, Star Trek, the original series, kind of special effects where things are just weird and the sets look cheap and the stuff. There's a lot of that, so it's a little different. You know, the time is different. I get that. The budget is different that they had. They worked within the constraints of what they have, but realistically, Jonathan, quit showing us your phone, dude. Gosh.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it doesn't work well.
Anyway,
He's got Superman 2 at a 4.5.
Yeah, that's incredibly wrong. I'm
Superman 2 is the story of Superman 2 is very good, but like that when they get cast down and they have that little like 1980s looking disc that twirls, it looks awful.
We're talking about a movie where Superman takes his S off of his chest and throws it at them, and it wraps around the villains.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, there's just so many
movie, right?
Yeah.
Holds up really well.
Yeah, that's still better than Jonathan Kent suggesting a school bus full of children should drown. Like, I'll stand by that.
Listen. Now, listen, we can all agree, except for Jonathan, who has a mental problem with this, that Man of Steel is like the worst thing that's ever been produced. It's not just the worst Superman movie.
Apparently, audiences agree with me ever made, because they showed up to this film more than David Corenswet.
Well, you know, no accounting for taste.
If you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, that's not true.
But anyway,
Rotten Tomatoes
what I'm going to say is Superman 2,
also,
upon rewatch, did not.
Hold on. Go ahead. One at a time. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Unbelievably, after I watched Superman, Superman 25. I went back and I watched Superman 1. I did not watch Superman 2, but I watched Superman 1. I watched Man of Steel, and I watched Batman v Superman, just to see what I liked and what I didn't like. Holy moly, he doubles back down in Batman v Superman and has Ma Kent say, "You don't know this world a damn thing." Like, he doubles down. He doesn't learn his lesson.
Batman v Superman is a whole different story to me.
Why, Jonathan?
Because it's overstuffed.
For Man of Steel, man.
Because it's overstuffed, and the Lex Luthor in that film is horrible.
It's because Superman's wrong. Everybody has to connect to Superman.
That's not true. No, Superman's not wrong at all. Superman was just faced with real world decisions, and apparently
it's not Superman that's the problem.
Apparently, you guys don't like your Superman dealing with real world
Jonathan,
problems.
this is Superman.
All right, we've had this conversation.
This is Superman.
We've had
1,000 times.
Listen, we're not here to argue about the garbage that is Man of Steel, except for to show you my wonderful, extensive. I researched that thoroughly. I didn't want to leave any corner undone. You know, I wanted to get the whole history of Superman in cinema, and I think I nailed it. So I'm sorry to have brought that up, but I
didn't see Gene Kane.
Terrible video.
But it's theatrical Superman. It's theatrical Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, anyway, let's go back to these comments right here. If Superman isn't a supremely profitable IP, this universe is in big trouble. The next few projects are deep pulls, and the next project is Supergirl, and after that we have Clayface, not Batman versus Clayface, just Clayface.
Just Clayface. Yeah.
Well, it's an Elseworld movie, and it's a movie that James Gunn had confidence in the story. He saw the script, he read it, and he was like, "Wow, this is so good. We didn't initially have plans for this, but it's so good. Let's put pen to paper. Let's make this a movie and put it out as a DC Elseworlds movie."
I bet he's gonna tie into the Batman. That's my.
I don't think it is. I think it's going to be separate from the DCU, if I'm not mistaken.
In the Joker universe.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering what they're doing with this TV universe. I'm kind of wondering what they're doing with this because Creature Commandos. So Rick Flag is like the Secretary of Defense now or something. You know what I mean? He's not just some guy that works for Amanda Waller. He's wearing a suit and he's doing all kinds of stuff that's not like him. So this is clearly a different timeline than that, even though it's supposed to be the same universe, right?
Well, I mean, I'm later in the same timeline. I mean,
that's what I'm wondering. Is it's a different timeline in the same universe, right? Is what it looks like, because wasn't kind of jiving with where we had seen Rick Flag previously, you know. So I was kind of confused.
Pass, you change jobs, you get appointments, you know. I mean, it's probably still the same thing. It's just a little bit further down the line, I guess.
They feel the need to do this in movies, and I understand character development, but the same thing with Bucky Barnes. Why does he have to be a senator or whatever he was in Thunderbolts just to quit the position halfway through the movie? Like, it kind of feels like the same thing to me, honestly. Like, does Rick Flag really need to be in that position? I mean, I guess for the plot of this movie.
It felt like just a way to shoehorn a previous character from Creature Commandos into the show.
I did. I was on Max today. And they have the preview for Preacher season 2, not Preacher, Peacemaker season 2 is up.
Peacemaker,
and Nathan Dillon's in it.
He factors heavily in the new season of Peacemaker according to that preview. So, I mean, he gets established here, but he is going to be in that position in the new season of Peacemaker because he was all over that 30-40 second spot for Peacemaker. So
as long as they carry on with him being in that position. And it's not just something that's washed away after one movie, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I Am the Night wants to let us know that he called it and that it would bomb.
It's the number. Okay, guys, we got to have some nuance in our conversations here.
Listen.
I mean, I'm not ready to say it's bombing. I'm not ready to say it's
number one movie in the world right now.
Listen, Captain America: Brave Enough to Leave the House was the number one movie in the world for like 2 months.
Dude, if Captain America would have had these numbers, they would have been cutting backflips.
But number one
Oh, yeah.
movie in America doesn't mean a whole lot.
No, but
It
Thunderbolt
doesn't.
was the number one
doesn't.
movie in America.
You can't say $312 million.
Jonathan, quit showing us your phone for crying out loud.
Hey, let's just compare Captain America. Let's just
All right.
compare Captain America's opening weekend to Superman's. Oh, it looks like it's about 40-50 mils short of what Superman accomplished. As you were saying,
Draw an S or
Every
snake.
time he shows his
Or
phone,
dragon. Whatever. Next, we'll try a more different S. Whoa. Wait a minute. I think I need to start over.
I got a good plan. Every time you play that video, I'm going to argue about Henry Cavill, Man of Steel. How about that?
That's great.
Oh.
Hey, every time you play that video, Superman contemplates letting a school bus full of children drown.
And also, every time you play that video, I can't think of a good comeback right now, but I will later.
Bro, okay. All right, here's another
having
negative
fun
thing.
out there because we're having fun.
Here's another negative thing about the movie. Okay, why must we have Superman have one set of shitty parents in every iteration of the movie? Like, it's either the Kents are shitty or the L's are shitty. Like,
Hold on.
like why can't they just both be good?
Hey, hold on. I think I got to work my way down there. I think we had that in here somewhere. Didn't somebody have a comment about that? Well,
Like,
anyway, we'll get to it
It's
later.
not
And then we'll show you all the
Jor-El
comments.
being like, hey, man, you need to impregnate as much bitches as you can. It's
Yeah.
Jonathan
So-
Kent being like, let all
Here.
these bastards die.
I got like 3 or 4 takes on this that I want to cover. Right? I want to grab some room here. Number
Here you go.
one.
Here it is, Dan. Here it is.
Yeah, the angle with his parents was new, but only made better by the fact that his earthly parents are the most humble, blue-collar, salt-of-the-earth people. The video at the end was awesome, which it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few takes with the Krypton take. So, number one, Lex Luthor is capable of creating a pocket universe to store bad guys and just get from place to place, right? That's how advanced his technology is. But we're just all going to take on faith because 3 people said so.
Well,
That
Mr.
he's-
Terrific said it.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
And he's
Mr. Terrific was
GD
pretty
Mr.
impressed. Yeah, he was
The-
pretty impressed with that pocket universe, though. You know what I'm saying? He's like, wow, you know? So
The other thing, though, Dan, is the other thing about it is I know exactly what you're getting at. That Lex Luthor's this genius, and he could have created some state of the art AI that nobody could have tracked as AI, and that would have been great. I don't know that it needs that in the movie.
That's my
I don't
second
know that I need Jor-El to be good in order for this movie to be satisfying for me. I don't know. Do you guys need that? I don't.
Yeah, I need Superman to come from, like, all good people.
Yeah,
It's
Russell Crowe was much better.
no, Russell Crowe delivered the exact same message over the movie without enough sense to know that that's a bad thing.
That's not true, Dan.
You know,
That's
he
not
delivered
true.
almost the same speech.
No.
Inspire them, lead them.
Yeah,
show
be
them the
be a
way,
ideal that they
because
can
they're
strive
stupid
for.
idiots.
He will be a god to
On
them.
high.
Yeah,
Specifically
he
said,
does say he will be a god to
to
him.
them.
Yeah, but
Yes.
be something that they can strive towards, Tim. Be better.
And
We don't
Jonathan
have
Kent
gods
spent the
among
whole
men.
movie saying,
We
don't
don't
you
need to
do
worship
that.
false
You
idols."
better not do that shit.
Yeah. No.
Sit your
Yeah.
ass back down and you
That's
be
only because
unprofessional.
Jonathan Kent cared so much about his son, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 2 bad Jor-Els, but only 1 movie that knew that was a bad thing.
Jason,
That's
would you
the
want
only
your son to go
difference.
kill himself in a
That's the only
tornado for you?
The things are almost identically. The dialogue is almost exactly the same. The only
It
difference
is really
people's
close.
reaction. You know?
I'm just
So-
saying, any of us that have kids, we wouldn't want our kid to
I would want my kid to be special.
know.
Yeah.
Not,
I mean,
not
I
if
might
the
be
government
like, you know,
taking them
I'm-
and experimenting
The
on them
government,
like they
here's
did
the
with
thing.
Kara
I like my
Zor-El
Jonathan Kent
in
to
the
be,
Flash.
to
You
be
saw
the
what
best.
happened to Kara Zor-El in the Flash, right? She was
I-
experimented on by the Russians. That's
Now,
what.
hey,
That's
listen,
Listen,
I score high on the psychopath scale, so I might be like Jor-El. I might be like subjugate these people. create your
That's-
harem,
that's what he
recreate
did
Krypton,
more for
you
his
know.
son.
So
I like my
Yeah.
Kents to be the best that America has to offer. The spirit,
Even if
I
that
just-
means
spirit of
still getting
America.
taken by the
You know,
government and experimented
Hey,
on.
I
What,
just
is
want
the spirit
everyone
of
to know.
America being
Hey,
paranoid?
hold on. I want everyone to know we need to thank James Gunn because this conversation actually happened in the theater. Jonathan leaned over to me and said, "What's a harem?" So I had to inform Jonathan of what a harem
You didn't need
was
to call
in
him
the
out like
middle of the movie. Okay. So anyway, so
Had no
thank you,
idea.
James Gunn.
I mean,
Thank
that's
you, James Gunn.
that's kind of what you
So,
would
yeah.
expect for somebody who would tweet out stuff that's very pedophilic.
It was
Yeah.
the early 2000s. Everyone
anyway,
was being edgy.
That's not a word, by the way.
Barry Allen is slow. What kind of universe did the movie lay out, and why should it
A good one.
continue to chase it?
I actually enjoyed the universe. I thought the
I did too,
universe was
yeah.
great.
It
The
felt
world
like a
building.
comic book.
I don't feel like I need to go back and see anything. Did you
Yeah.
guys? I think we saw enough to know what we need to see for the universe
got
moving
the-
forward, which is really what I wanted from the movie.
Yeah.
We got the name
So, yeah.
Maxwell Lord dropped, you know,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
was big for Justice League and Justice. I can't wait. I really want Batman because I can't wait for the scene where Batman knocks out Guy Gardner with one punch. It's going to be epic. People are going to explode in the theater. Normies aren't going to know it's coming. If you're watching this, you're not one of them, so I'm not spoiling it for you. But
it's happening, yeah.
It's
James
happening.
Gunn likes comics too much.
Yeah.
Can I say maybe the most proud and happy I've ever been in a movie theater is sitting there listening to Superman talk about what is it punk rock. I was
Yeah.
like, this movie
What was
might
the
be
name of the
made
band?
for me.
What was the name of the band?
Iggy
The-
Pop.
Crabjoys?
Yes,
yeah.
the
It was a
Crabjoys.
fictional band,
Yes.
right? That he was a fan of.
Yeah, he's fiction. But he also liked POD.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you guys were talking about the song they played at the end of the movie. But yeah, POD
Yeah.
was a good choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. He's one
Yeah.
step away from being like, I loved Creed, and Jonathan may being like, it's so much
I
better
love
than
how-
Henry Cavill.
I love how then they showed after he was talking it, then they showed his bedroom and he's got the poster. That was great. That was great James Gunn stuff right there.
Hey,
So, yeah.
before I get back in the comments, I just wanted to know. I haven't brought this up on any of the reviews, and I keep forgetting to. What do we all feel about Jimmy Olsen being the biggest pimp on the planet? What
love
do you
it.
guys think about that angle?
Here's the thing, man. Every Jimmy Olsen that has ever been cast has been like the most like cast aside character, doesn't really have any angles in any stories. I always felt bad for them. I think there was even one iteration where they weren't even allowed to call him Jimmy Olsen, if I'm not mistaken. Was that Lois and Clark?
That was
maybe I
Batman
forget.
v
No,
Superman.
Clark Jimmy was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he did
but
stuff.
there was one iteration where they weren't allowed to even call him Jimmy Olsen. They just had to call him Jimmy and hope that people put it together. But I think it's so funny that they actually made Jimmy like a really good integral character, because that's kind of what he is in the comics. He's kind of like this smart aleck, kind of, you know, the new age Jimmy is kind of that way. So I've always kind of appreciated. I was hoping James Gunn would kind of go into that a little bit with him. So yeah.
Jason is on the technical difficulties again, but
I back in the darkness like Bane.
If and when he is back online. Let me get back here. I always lose my place because I'm old and my vision is not great.
There you go.
There we go.
That was
Guy
it.
flipping the tanks with a giant middle finger might be the best part of the movie.
That was hilarious.
Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific, to me, both stole the show. Those two side characters were great.
I think Mr. Terrific gained a ton of fans. That he absolutely just nailed it. I mean, he that whole scene with him and Lois going to the pocket universe on the way there, when he just gets there and he gets his little drones out and then he starts just killing all the guys. That was just great.
And then Crypto comes after the drones.
That was a classic James Gunn scene. Like, James Gunn loves these scenes where it's like, here we are, here's the place we need to get to, and there's a bunch of bad guys in between. Play some cool music and start beating people up. That was a great James Gunn scene. I loved that. So anyway, so yeah.
Looks like Jason's back. All right.
key.
While you guys are talking about Guy and Mr. Terrific is still in the show, I'm going to throw this out before. This is not really a complaint that I have, but it's one that I've read quite a bit and seen of people that are dogging this movie. So I'm play devil's advocate. I'm going to throw it out there and let you guys attack it. A complaint that I've heard is that Superman doesn't get the real hero treatment, the iconic moments. You guys talk about Mr. Terrific, and I did find this while creating my extensive history of Superman and cinema video, right? Superman in this film does not get many of the big hero shots. And by that, you'll know what I'm talking about, like Mr. Terrific coming down the steps, right? That's a hero shot. That's like an established, or the Justice Gang. Mr. Terrific gets two because the Justice Gang shows up and they got the sun at their back and the camera pans. Big hero shot. Superman in this film is always bloodied. He's always bruised. He's always dirty. And one of the only hero shots I can find, his eyes are all messed up. So, like, do they establish Superman as the big, iconic, authoritative, most powerful person? Like, people are saying that they don't. I'm not saying it, but like, let's pretend I was. Tell me why that is wrong.
He gets one of the coolest shots in the entire movie, which is him rescuing a little girl.
I think I agree with what they were saying, actually. It feels like Daredevil, Netflix. Daredevil was a great character. The shows were fantastic on Netflix, but he got his ass beat almost every episode. And it's kind of felt like that's what Superman got here in this movie. Like, I understand what they were going for, that they were trying to show a more vulnerable side to a character that kind of comes across as invulnerable, but they probably let him get beat up a little too much, in my opinion. And I can see that argument.
I'll agree with that. I think, and I said this in Jonathan's review, if you want to check it out. The one thing I didn't like about the movie is how about 90% of the movie, Superman was in the depths of despair and was not really winning the fights. That's the one thing I didn't care for. I felt like we did have a good resurgence in the Pocket universe, and we did have a good resurgence at the very end when Krypto kind of saved his tail. But for the most part, I think that he was very, very low moments throughout the film, and I did not care for that. I would have preferred a little more ebb and flow to that, where he has some hero moments, he goes back down, he has some hero moments, then he goes way back down, and then they bring him back up at the end. That's that would have been better, but they didn't quite do it that way. So yeah, I will concede that was one thing about the film that I did not care for.
Now,
but does that mean that he was not clearly established as the hero of the movie? I don't think that's true at all. I think he was clearly the hero of the movie. So,
he's the hero of the movie, but is he the predominant hero of the universe is what people are saying. And I'm going to say, I was just playing devil's advocate. It actually didn't bother me as much as Tim or Jonathan. And I think a lot of it plays into, it was a correction from Man of Steel and maybe an overcorrection, whereas Man of Steel is all posing and iconic hero moments and overpowered.
But he also got beat up a lot, though, too, but not as much, though.
No bruises, though.
He was always like striking. I mean, if you want to find hero moments, it's nonstop hero moments in the Snyder film. Even like
aura farming, man.
He likes his hero moments. You know what I'm saying? And his protagonist is going to get hero moments from start to finish.
That's what you get when you get such a great cinematographer in charge of your movie.
You get no story at all.
It may have been an overcorrection, but I feel like it was done as a correction to show that, this guy can be hurt. This guy he has to overcome things. So I don't know. I do understand. If one thing I would say that this film captures the tone of like the Donner Superman in a lot of ways, in the basic guy flipping the tanks. I've got that.
You got some more comments, Dan, that you've been missing.
But anyway, I'm just going to say that I forget where I was talking about the movie and the tone. One thing that is missing, they get the characterization of Superman, but it is missing those mythic moments. It doesn't have that mythic quality where he stands alone, kind of that mythic thing. Derpy said, I just want to shout out to the cameraman that caught the cheating CEO.
I think, by the way, Dan,
I don't think they can fix you for that.
All right.
I think Hope is above Derpy as well with a comment.
That is a hero moment. That is a hero moment.
You missed
Let it go. He can't hold it back anymore.
Just remember, Kevin Costner, the goat, died by tornado. That's how much Kevin Costner cared about his son. Derpy.
Let's see.
Yeah,
here.
don't be special. Don't do it.
He
You
didn't
know
want
what,
to
Tim?
taken by the
I
government.
apologize. Jonathan is the ultimate glazer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that
Yes.
movie. It's still in my top 10.
Yeah, it's a mental disorder. We're trying to find him treatment for it, but he cannot see any of the obvious flaws, even if you point them out.
There's faults in the movie, but there's not nearly as many faults in Man of Steel as 2025 Superman. Not nearly.
Oh,
as
I
many.
will fight you on that.
You hit
Absolutely.
play, right? And the faults start and they don't end until after the credits.
One is a Superman movie.
No, both are Superman movies, but one.
What comic
decides
is?
to
Hey,
take
what
Superman
comic?
and put him
What
in the real
comics
world.
is Man of Steel?
And when they
most
put
like?
Superman in the real world, he has to make difficult decisions. Just
What,
like David
what comic
Corenswet.
book do you think Superman
Hold
of
on.
Steel is closest to?
Hold on 1 second. Let me finish my point that I was trying to make. Just like David Corenswet Superman, literally there's so many buildings collapsing,
Mhm.
and it just takes the time to show him saving a squirrel and saving another dog that's
Like
not
a hero. Yeah, I know. I know you don't
And-
like that,
and-
John.
But there's
Yeah, I
still
mean,
gonna be
they-
thousands. There's
they
can I
did
finish
have
the
the-
point, or is everybody going to keep interrupting me?
They evacuated the city, Jonathan. That's
No,
the
there's
difference.
thousands of casualties. Oh,
They
everyone got away
evacuated
scot
the-
free, huh?
a building to
That's
save
That's
a
make
woman.
believe, Tim and Dan and Jason. That's make believe.
Yeah, I know.
that's right.
I know
Yeah,
you don't
We're
like
talking
comic
about a
books,
man who
John.
can
I
fly.
get it.
That is
Yeah.
make believe.
It's about an alien
Well,
who
it
the
is.
yellow sun gives him superpowers. So you get to
Yes,
decide what
it
kind of
is
story you
indeed
wanna
make
tell with
believe.
that.
Thank
Do
you.
you want to
But
see,
that's
see
the
him
point.
deal with realistic circumstances or not?
I want a comic
No,
book movie.
No. Yeah, I want Superman.
It
I
was a
want
comic book
Superman.
movie,
I
but it
don't want
was
some
Superman.
dipshit who lets the whole city get fucking bloated, stab somebody's neck. It's ridiculous. It's the most
Dan's gonna have an
asinine
aneurysm.
nonsense
Hey,
ever
he
He
created.
killed
by
Zod
anyone
just like
ever.
Christopher Reeve did.
Anyway,
Yeah, but John, let me ask you, what comic book do you think Man of Steel is closest to?
Jason, it's not based on a comic.
It's
per
a
se.
fucking comic book movie.
No comic book movies are based on one comic book or even a
Dark Knight
run.
Returns, Jason. Dark Knight Returns, I think. Yeah, that would be the closest one.
Yes.
Where-
I can tell you right now, James Gunn exclusively read All-Star Superman.
Sure.
Exclusively.
No, I
Like
believe,
you can tell from the book, from the movie.
I believe
There's probably a Kirkman storyline that's very similar, like an Invincible
Yeah,
or something
definitely,
like
for
that
sure.
that's in there. Yeah, for sure.
I think
I'll
Snyder
end
read
it
Dark
with
Knight
this.
Returns, where Superman is a stooge for an oppressive government, and he's like, "That's good. I like that."
I'll end it with this.
Superman, I want to go for it.
At the end of the day, we're talking movies and comic books. Yes, there are movies that are based on comic books, but what's the better movie? By far, Man of Steel is the better film, more intriguing.
You're
better
out of your
story,
mind.
better
No, it is
acting,
not.
Right.
And
You're
more
out of your
garbage.
mind.
We take
You
him
were
out.
out of your
Anyway.
mind. You were out of your
Anyway.
mind.
Anyway,
better movie.
we didn't want to.
Hey,
Anyway,
hey.
name. That we call him name because that used to be his name. We're not just making fun of the
Yes.
fact that we can't read what it is now, but he's been here for a while, so we refer to him by his old name. Okay, a good movie if you turn off your brain. But I'm tired of such empty movies and series based on comics. Snyder's movies are like GTA 4, Guns are like GTA 6.
I don't know what that means.
We
I
don't know
play
what that
GTA.
means.
I know
don't
what he
get the
means.
reference. I
Yeah,
don't.
but-
No, he's saying that he thinks that Gun Superman's a little bit more of an upgrade. Actually, is what he's saying.
Well, okay.
Hey,
Well, there we go.
we agree.
There we
Name.
Yeah, Derpy. I don't know if he was talking about something we just said or one of the comments, because that doesn't mean make sense. He says, "Notice my comments, Dan."
Acknowledge him, Dan.
Shout out to Man of Steel being so depressing. The universe had created the Suicide Squad. Shout out to
Oh boy. Oh man.
Derpy, I can't help it that you don't like good cinema, man.
No one
control
else
that.
did either.
Yeah. Now I will say,
apparently more people like it than this new Superman film.
What metric are you saying that?
Opening weekend.
box office.
Just opening. So they went back.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
So did they go back the second weekend?
I don't know what you're saying, Jason.
What do you mean you don't know what I'm saying?
We don't have the second weekend statistics yet available.
All right.
Throw this out there. Man of Steel finished with a inflation adjusted. What was it? 906, 907, something like that. That's the inflation adjusted total. It's a big hill for this Superman to climb.
It's not happening.
And again, if it can't
That's
make
not
that
happening.
hill, my thing is in the public consciousness and in the public eye, he will not occupy the role of Superman. It's just like they made a bunch of James Bond film. Who followed Sean Connery? Roger Moore.
Roger
Moore.
All the way through. And he had some fairly successful films. In the mind of the public, Sean Connery was still James Bond.
Mm-hmm. That's why they came out with Thunder Pussy or whatever it was afterwards.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Honestly, hey, as much as I love the Henry Cavill version of Superman, I'm rooting for this movie to beat Man of Steel. Honestly, I want to see.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I want to see, because it's a great movie. It is. It's a great movie. And I want to see the DCU succeed. But I disagree with Dan and Tim as far as I think that even if this movie doesn't hit 800 or 900 million, it's still the spark of a beginning of a new universe.
It's their Iron Man.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Tim is more with you guys, but I just feel like he is not going to replace Cavill in the public consciousness without a bigger performance. He's just not going to.
And I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. That remains to be seen. Okay. I think that because there could be something in the universe that catch fire, which would really bring the public eye to him as Superman. That's fine. But I think the biggest reason that this box office is disappointing to me is because I want this universe to continue. And I don't know that we're going to make it past 5 or 6 movies if we have box office returns like this for what they spend in advertising and all that kind of stuff.
Well, this man's talking about centimeters.
Also, no, that name is from Eastern European. Notice the alphabet there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is definitely on the metric system.
Not the metric system.
Yeah, we are not going to know what you're talking about, man. We are all Americans. And
we regularly eat Royale with cheese. Okay,
yeah.
So we regularly.
Our bodies show it.
It looks like a schoolboy. I don't believe it. Accidentally, he wants Lex Luthor's girlfriend and leaks all data by messes that's in the toilet. So, I mean, it's a joke, obviously, but I think it's a good joke. I think
I laughed.
Yeah.
If ever there was a way that an idiot like Lex Luthor could be taken down by some ditzy girl, it would be by her taking ridiculous selfies. So I think that's hilarious. But
listen, what's the name of the guy from SNL that dates all of the incredibly attractive?
Yeah, Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
Yeah,
he's a real person.
Not Pete Holmes. I'm sorry.
What? No.
Oh gosh, what's the dude's name?
The dude
it's not
with
Pete
the
Holmes.
tattoos and skinny guy.
Yeah,
that's Pete Holmes.
Is it Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
he dated what's her face?
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. That's it.
Yeah. Pete Davidson's a real guy.
Hey, Dan, can I take this comment? Not to mention the fact that the Phantom Zone cells look like wangs, giant wangs, Jonathan. And I actually like that. I actually like that choice in Man of Steel because there's listen, I'll tell you why. Can I explain? Yeah, there's nothing worse, Jason, than getting transported to the Phantom Zone in a giant wang. You thought the Phantom Zone was going to be bad, but then you're getting transported there in a giant dome.
Hey, man.
Oh, my God.
I will openly admit.
All right, John, you win.
I preferred the transport in Man of Steel to the weird diamond.
That was awesome.
In Superman 2.
The
Okay.
mirror beats the dildo.
I'm
Tim.
sorry.
No,
do we not
no,
like
it does
fun
not.
anymore?
No, it does not. It looked like something from a 1980s science video that they were trying to like bring a credit in or something. It was
Oh.
ridiculous.
Did I skip a comment? Which one did I skip? Did I miss one back here, guys? I don't know. Tim
I
is
don't
healthy
know.
too. Yeah. Boo. We
Oh,
will try.
I think he's talking about that one right there.
Oh yeah. I think I said that, right? Did
I
I
said
not?
that one earlier.
It was on the screen.
Did he? I don't know. I'm just-
Jonathan never ceases to amaze me at how much of a body guy he is.
Oh,
How much of a what?
How much of a you just love body. You want your spaceships to look like body parts. You
That's such a dumb analogy.
You should be an alien guy because in Alien everything looks organic. They shift everything. It all has curvy lines.
Yeah, but
Let's
how
see-
is
let's see
the
what
body
Nene
of the
said.
xenomorph?
Oh, he had a Man of Steel comment in here somewhere. Name's got something
watch
else.
me, Nene.
talked about that, didn't we?
No,
Yeah, we did
I'm
that.
just
Yeah, he created the
Yeah, we
Suicide
do.
Squad.
I laughed at that joke. Yeah, that
I
was-
talked
wanted a
about that.
Suicide
Still-
Squad after I watched Man of Steel
Or
for the
this
second
one.
time.
Yeah, we talked
The one,
about that
no,
one.
I'm talking
too.
about the one from Nene, the one that Nene just sent in.
yeah, what
Name
did Nene
as
say?
a long one. Here.
He says, I was just.
He's disappointed the movie wasn't great. It had potential. All we got is a sequel, so to speak. But from
Squirrel,
a business
so to speak.
standpoint, Gunn did it right. Action and lots of character.
I didn't like the squirrel scene either. Honestly, I thought that was a
What?
bit too. I thought that was a bit too far into the hopeful, positive, yay!
He
Like
should have broke that squirrel's neck.
no, I'm just saying that.
cooked it with a cheese vision. That's
I'm just saying that that's a bit
good.
over the top of trying
Yeah.
to prove that Superman's so happy and he loves everyone.
Yeah,
I love it.
Let's-
source
I-
material.
Let's just we got introduced to Ma and Pa Kent, right?
And I
Does
love it.
does anybody want to address the elephant in the room that Superman probably had a lot of squirrel growing up? Okay,
Yeah.
and so I think it's so silly that he was saving the squirrel. Okay, it's pretty obvious that he probably
Who has
had
a lot of
squirrel growing
squirrels?
up.
I think that he saved the squirrel as just like, let's take like 10 seconds of this movie and really throw salt in the Snyder Bros wounds and let them know that Superman saves things. Let's just
Yes.
really,
Even a
really,
squirrel.
really go out of our way to let you
Yes.
know
Yeah.
that other version was crap. I think that's
Well, and
what
that's the big thing. If you swing the pendulum one way, you got to swing it completely the other way. You can't go in the middle. And when we had Man of Steel, where there was just absolutely no effort to save anybody whatsoever throughout the battle, they went to the other extreme on this one. And so there's going to be there is no middle. It's either one or the other. And I actually prefer it that way. I think that way people can kind of decide which one they like better. So
I have a question, guys, and we all might not want to get into it. How bad do you think the phone conversation was with Sean Gunn?
Oh, hold on.
I mean-
let's get some more comments that we'll jump into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get some comments out of the way and then we'll
So
get there.
Nicholas
But yeah, so
Hoult is described as a genius level cerebral villain. I missed this a while back. How effective was he as the antagonist? Did he challenge Superman in a compelling way? I've heard a lot of Lex complaints. So
No, I think the Lex in this movie was great. Leagues better than Jesse Eisenberg. Jesse Eisenberg
Yeah.
was the absolute worst. Lex
a
Luthor.
lot of people
Facts.
do
Kevin
not
Spacey's in that
understand
mix.
the character of
Spacey
Lex
was great.
Luthor. Okay, a lot of people don't understand the character of Lex Luthor because they've been introduced to Lex Luthor in a couple different iterations that probably are not very true to who Lex Luthor actually is. If you grew up with Smallville Lex Luthor or animated series Lex Luthor, you're probably like, who is this crazy guy and why is he so uber focused on Superman and why is Superman's existence the only thing that he ever is focused on? Because that's who Lex Luthor is. You were introduced to an iteration of Lex Luthor that was pulled back and softer, made more for TV and kids. This is completely different than that. This is more who Lex Luthor is. And so this is completely different from Hackman's iteration as well.
Yeah.
This is when Lex Luthor has gone completely and totally crazy. He's gone maniacal. He's bought countries and companies and everything, all in an effort just to try to defeat Superman. Because Superman's existence, just his existence, is enough to drive him crazy. And so I think that Nicholas Hoult did a good job. I think that he is a very capable actor. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't a little lacking in maybe what was coming across. I do feel like he did a good job with it, though. So I'm not gonna say he did an awful job. I think that he did a good job with it. I think Lex Luthor's character is one that's just really hard to nail down on screen. That's
there's that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, especially with all those motivations, it's really hard. It's really hard to nail it down. Go ahead, John.
That one scene, Tim, where Lex Luthor is just looking like. I love that he painted such a great picture of someone, like you said, who is obsessed with defeating and killing, ridding the world of Superman. Because when he was getting beat up by Ultraman or whatever it was, Mr. Bravia, he was just he was just soaking it in, kind of like Penguin from the Penguin series when he burned that family, that rival crime family, and he was just watching orgasmically. And I love that moment from the film, and it's in the trailer too. The Lex scene where he's just looking like that. I love it. That single 3 or 4 second clip painted 1,000 words.
Yeah, it's why my before this movie, my favorite iteration of Lex Luthor, which I thought was people are going to kill me for it in the comments, was Kevin Spacey, and the reason is because that's the same Lex Luthor that he portrays. He portrays the Lex Luthor that irrationally hates Superman. All right. He can't just coexist with Superman and all his money. He can't do it. He just can't do it. He must defeat Superman. It's just in his DNA. He must do it. And that's one of those things that I love that character. Yeah. When that character is going counter to Superman, that's exactly how it should be. It's very similar to when the Joker is kind of a psychopath and going against Batman. You just know that that relationship that they have, that they kind of need each other almost in order for the stories to go forward. That's really something when you can nail it. And I think they did a very good job with it. Nicholas Hoult, I think the jury is kind of still out just because it's a hard character to deliver. That's all. So yeah.
Go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say two things. Like, the most Lex scene to me is when he just shoots that guy in front of Superman. I was like, they got Lex Luthor. Like, that was incredible. And this is the guy that, like, I could see building a mech suit. Like, I could see this guy being so obsessed that he's like, I need to build a mech suit.
Yeah, the hammer of Batavia or whatever, it looks a lot, it looks a lot like Lex's mech suit, like traditional. And I was hoping he would don that by the end of the film. Yeah, me too. Of it. But I will say, I turned to Tim in the theater because this is a trope that started with The Force Awakens, and Bone Bridger pointed out in our review that I didn't like at first. Lex at one point of the film throws a hissy fit. And it just seems like every antagonist nowadays has to throw a hissy fit at some point in the film. But I brought up that complaint to my daughter, right? And she's an electrical engineer. She works at the Army base. And she's like, he's an engineer. He's a tech CEO. He's a tech guy. He's a super genius. That's how they are. When something gets out of their control and doesn't go the way they planned, that is how they react. So she actually kind of convinced me that maybe that was good characterization for somebody as brilliant as Lex Luthor. When the plan doesn't go right, you just totally freak out because that's not supposed to happen. You've planned it and it should go perfectly the way you planned it. So she kind of sold me on that. And I like this version of Lex.
We got some comments, Tim, Dan, by the way. Starting with
Nene. I'm trying to mix it because we've missed some in the middle. Back and forth.
Started with Nene at 10:05.
Name up here, right here.
Nope, up further up.
Okay.
Further up.
Yep. All right. I am just disappointed the movie wasn't great It had the potential.
Yeah, we already went over
Yeah,
that
we
one.
did that one. We talked about
Jonathan,
squirrel.
screwing us up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
Man of
Sorry.
Steel one. Yeah, we got man.
Here you
See,
go.
Well,
yeah.
Here we go. Dude.
no, we did miss one from Derpy about me being a science monkey there.
Yeah, here we go.
Above.
Here we go, Derpy.
Okay.
I think
Hey,
I'll call
I'd like
Jonathan
to- I'd
Science
like to-
Monkey from now on.
I'll respond to it later. Go ahead and get to some
Yeah,
more.
Tim did call that out in the theater that the monkeys in the pocket
That's the Snyder Bros.
are the
Absolutely.
Snyder Bros. Dude, Jason was showing a screenshot. Now Jonathan is not. He loves Man of Steel, but he is not a full-on Snyder Bro. He was not
He's
buying tickets 2 weeks ahead of time, just to cancel them and screw up the weekend box office. He was not,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I'll acknowledge that the DCEU after Man of Steel declined big time. There were a few movies like Wonder Woman and Aquaman that were good. But most of that was crap. But yeah, I'll let you read the comment.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific is shown very well, like Cyborg and Snyder's League. Before these films, I didn't care about the characters. Also, in Doom Patrol, Cyborg was shown very well. One of my favorite scenes. My favorite on-screen Cyborg is from Teen Titans Go. I don't know, but you guys.
Ooh, my daughter loves Teen Titans Go.
My daughter.
Yeah, that is a cyborg that's not afraid to say booyah. He will say booyah. But yeah, no, Mr. Terrific, he was my daughter's favorite character, the engineer, of course. Mr. Terrific is her favorite character in the film. So Science Monkey, how many times do you pray to Snyder a day?
Yeah.
This is just the
Jonathan.
Jonathan. This is just
I'll
the
show
Jonathan
Science.
ragging show. Right now. What is going on?
I'll respond after you finish reading his comments. Go ahead.
Oh God, I don't think I should read that one out loud, even though I've lost it. But you know what? Screw
Hey,
it.
none to Snyder, okay? But maybe a couple of the Cavill.
Yeah, we're
It's definitely the Cavill, Derpy. Definitely the Cavill. There's no doubt
is your
about it.
beard Snyder inspired? Jesus. Hold on, I just get the view. Are you sure, Dan? Well, shit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be sure of. I'm not keeping up with these. Because he's fully glazing steel. Am
Yeah.
I sure you're not a full Snyder, bro?
It's a great movie, Derpy.
Yeah.
Teen Titans. Oh, he doesn't like Teen Titans Go. Look, man, you gotta have a sense of humor for it, but I think it's funny.
Yeah, it works.
Good kid show.
It's well
That's a good
documented.
kid
But I
show.
like things that are silly.
Well, I
No,
mean,
the original
different-
Titans is better.
but it's
The
for
original
different
Teen
audience.
Titans is obviously better, but yeah, I mean,
You know what?
for this generation, Teen Titans Go, not a bad.
You know
Not
what?
a bad
The
show.
crossover of Teen Titans Go and the original Teen Titans is hilarious because they make so
Yeah.
much hay about how the fans of the original series hate Teen Titans Go because it took its place. And it's funny. It's funny. If you can't laugh at that, then, if you have a translator, I recommend watching a video about the Superman Returns, Palasaka TV channel. In short, the best film adaptation of Superman. Oh, he's going with Brandon Roth as the best film Superman.
Look,
he's going with Deadbeat Dad Superman.
can I respond to that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
That movie,
sad.
when it first came out in 2005, and I watched it in theaters, I can remember all the audience in the theater standing up at the conclusion and giving it a standing ovation.
Oh.
But at the time, we didn't have the MCU. We didn't have a lot. Our standards were a lot lower at the time. And I understand if it holds a special place in your heart. Heck, I like Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, but I know that that's a bad film. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't say that Superman Returns is even anywhere near the top.
I am not even going to acknowledge those comments. We're just going to move on. All I can say is watch last week's stream. Yeah, watch last week's stream. You will hear all of my thoughts on Superman Returns.
He doesn't
okay?
throw a punch.
That plane scene, though, the scene where he's trying to rescue the plane is peak cinema. But other than
And the
that,
eyeball's kind of cool.
yeah,
All right.
And
I was
Spacey,
looking-
as I mentioned.
unless, yeah, unless.
Yes. Yeah, Derpy does love Returns. I will be totally honest. I believe I've seen Returns once. So that was in theaters a very long time ago. And as I have mentioned previously, I'm old. So my memory is kind of shaky. I do remember liking Spacey. I do remember not being crazy about the deadbeat dad storyline. So that's my full recollection of Superman Returns. Now, I was looking for a comment that I know I saw earlier, but I'm not going to go back there. I want to stay down here at the bottom where I can see the new comments. There was something about the politics in the film, and we can get into what Jason was trying to say earlier when we go into this. Was the politics in the film obvious? Did it look like it was applicable to real world events, or do you think it was? There we go. Do you guys think the politics in the movie were clear, or did you think it was pretty generic? I thought it was more generic, but see how some people draw parallels to current events. So do we think it did a decent job of staying out of the headlines and being just generic?
Yeah.
I think there's only politics here if you're looking for it. There is a war, okay? And I don't know how to tell you this, but in the entire history of the world, there have been wars. So
A lot of them.
it's not necessarily directly correlative to anything that's going on right now. If you're drawing those parallels, okay, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. I just took it as generic war X.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it leaves it open for interpretation, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
yes, I will concede that one of the countries is very definitely Arab, but I mean, that's where most of the wars happen. So, you know, if you're trying to draw actual parallels to real wars in the real world, I think you're going too far. But we can get into this conversation because Jason was talking about the phone call to Sean Gunn, and even his brother James Gunn was making some comments days prior about jerks not needing to come to his movie if you don't support immigrants, and this is an immigrant story. First, let's just start with this so that people who don't know or haven't heard our take on it can know. We'll just go around the horn. We'll start with Tim. We'll go around the horn. Was this a woke movie with a woke message? Just the movie?
No.
Tim?
No, absolutely not. I think
Jonathan?
I think that it was pretty clear it wasn't. But.
Jonathan, was it a woke movie with a big woke message?
Not at all. The comments that Gunn and his brother made before the film, they were alluding to that they were saying that we should all love everyone equally, which we all agree with. But what they were alluding to was even illegal immigrants we should also love and accept and welcome into our country and pay for all their shit. I don't agree with that. Because by the way, my wife is a legal immigrant in this country. I think that legal immigration is fantastic. If we trace back all of our history and our families, probably most of us are legal immigrants. If you do it the right way, that's excellent. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. But if it's done illegally, I don't agree with it.
Yeah. Jason, was it a woke film? The film itself?
I didn't think the film at all. There was one line that as soon as they said it, I was like, oh, I rolled my eyes. And it was the line where Flag tells him, you're an illegal alien. You don't have constitutional rights. But they jumped way off of it real quick. Like, he had.
And I don't necessarily think that has anything to do with immigration. It's just Lex with some kind of legal technically for why he doesn't have to treat Superman the same as everybody else.
But it felt like maybe that was thrown in.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, once again, though, very generic. Read into that what you will, but I didn't read anything like that into it personally. Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I've read a lot of stuff, speculation going into the film, and we can argue about how it matched expectations or failed to meet expectations. I believe that you have to concede that the opening weekend was at least somewhat of a disappointment. How big a disappointment, I don't know.
Yeah.
There were speculation months ago that it would open to somewhere around 200, 225 domestic.
Mm-hmm.
Domestic. I read those articles. But in a lot
but
of
it was the number lest we forget, it was the number one pre-sale movie of the year. I expected a huge return that weekend. Okay. The number one pre-sale movie of the year. That includes Minecraft, that includes Rebirth, that includes all of those, right?
I saw 180. I think 180 was the highest I saw as far as projections go, but that was on the high end. I never saw 200.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dan's reading, but
I saw
never
200.
saw that much.
Yeah.
Domestic? No.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was
I saw
on
200.
Box Office Theory and a few other places, but that's been a while back. But the models have been adjusted because earlier in the year, pre-sales, they've been overweighing pre-sales and box office projections. They're having to try to, like, pre-sales are not the indicator that they thought it was. Let me see here.
You got one from Nene and two from Nene, one new one from Derpy, and then two from Nene.
So anyway, let me go here.
The last one from Derpy.
Translator.
Yep. Nope. Down. One more.
Stop it, Tim. Stop it. Okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Superman went out for milk, but never returned. It's Superman returns.
Then get back to smoke.
Yeah. South Park moment. Emma and Sandwich, Man of Steel or Superman. When you're a Man of Steel fan, I'm Divergent.
We are huge South Park fans here, so we get it. All right.
Yeah. There was already an African American Superman, Hancock. Maybe Supergirl will have the same vibe. So I don't know, but no,
I mean, that's what they're going for. I think they're going for a very similar hero to Hancock with Supergirl. Somebody that's kind of a party animal, taking in all the pleasure of the world in order to shut off their own pain and all that kind of stuff. I think that is kind of an angle that they're taking. So we'll have to see how it works.
But apparently they based that one, speaking of comics, Jason, off of Woman Tomorrow. Have you ever read that?
I have not, but I will check it out.
Apparently
I totally anticipate it being a really good movie. I think I'll enjoy it. I just don't know if it's the right move financially.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
I agree with you guys as far as like next we need to either do Batman or Wonder Woman. If you want to go female, probably need to go to Wonder Woman next. But apparently this Woman of Tomorrow story gets very dark and heavy pretty quick.
Ooh.
So, and we got Jason Momoa as Lobo as well.
So, but back, I was talking about the politics and the comments of the Gunn brothers, both Guns, and how the projections are overweighing pre-sales, and what they needed to have happen to have a really huge box office weekend was to have families in middle America walk up and buy tickets that weekend to take their kids and stuff. And I will attest to this because I flip houses, folks. I'll tell you that. I'm between houses. I don't have a house to work on. I spend a lot of time at home. And I'm walking. I have the TV on in the background while I do stuff around the house. And get mad and cancel me if you want, but my TV had Fox News on for the majority of one day. And the A or B block of every show on that network on the Wednesday before it was released, or maybe it was Thursday, was telling me that the new Superman movie was woke and you shouldn't go see it.
My parents.
Here's the thing. I don't think that has as big of an effect as everybody thinks. Though.
I believe you're
They said the same thing. They said the same thing about Beauty and the Beast in 2017, and it made $1.2 billion. It has nothing to do really with the return of the people that are going to go see the movie. If there are crusades to say don't go see this movie, it was already the number one pre-selling ticket of the entire year. So I don't think that had any really effect on it.
All those people came, but the people that would have turned 217,
I don't think that's the reason. I think
or 275 heard it was a woke movie and stayed home.
I don't think that's the reason.
Yeah, here's the problem. Let me say something about that.
I don't think that's the reason.
There's some parents out there, like when I say parents, I'm talking 60, 70-year-old folks that study Fox News and religiously watch it. And anything that Fox News says to them is law.
Gospel. Yeah.
Right. So that's definitely not going to help your chances. There might have been a few conservative families that didn't allow their kids to go. Yeah, I saw that comment by Muscles by Muscles. Man,
Jared coming from the
that
top
might have
row.
been the reason why some kids weren't allowed to go, because my parents said that Fox News said this movie was going to be woke. We're not going to send our kids to go see it.
I don't think that's the reason. I think that and we were talking about this in our group chat earlier, guys. I just, as sad as this was for me to come to the realization of, as somebody who loves the character of Superman, there is just no adoration for the actual character of Superman. And that's the problem. Superman is considered a lame character by people who have grown up in the MCU. They don't want to see Superman. They think Superman's motives are lame. They think Superman is too powerful. They think that Superman doesn't have good stories. They think that Superman is really generic. You've got the love interest, you've got the corporate bad guy, you've got all kinds of this stuff. There are people that just think that Superman is lame. And that is really sad to me, because Superman can be one of the most compelling stories out there if done properly. And I think that James Gunn did a really good job. I wish more people would have gone to see it.
I will say this. Fox has torpedoed a couple of movies this year. I don't think that Snow White does as bad as Fox does it.
But Snow White, buddy, the teardown from Snow White was nation. It was like top level. Everybody was talking about how bad Snow White was. Everybody was talking about how bad Snow White was. It didn't help that Fox was going after it the way it was.
Yeah,
but it wasn't Fox News. It wasn't Fox News. It wasn't one or two news outlets. It was everybody. Yeah, it was everybody. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was talking about how bad that movie was going to be.
More people watch that network than go to the movies. I mean, that's just a stone cold fact.
It's the number one network in the country right now.
Yeah, it's the highest rated cable network in the country, not cable news network, cable network in the country. And more people watch cable TV than buy tickets to the movies right now. So, and again, the people they needed to get over the hump were the same day. Again, they didn't dissuade comic nerds like us from
that's
going.
Ridiculous,
we had bought our tickets months ago. We were in the pre-sale numbers. I'm telling you, it's worth at least. I mean, it's not worth nothing. It has to be worth $20 million.
I'm not saying it's worth. I'm not saying it's worth nothing. But if you're going to tell me it's the reason, it's the reason we didn't have a successful opening box office weekend, I just don't think that's true.
It hurts.
I think that's more the character of Superman. I think that's more.
I agree.
I would have called it a pretty good success at probably like 260, 270. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to have 300.
That's 20 million right there.
No, I mean, I openly said I thought that under 300 was failure, but I mean, as you go back and look at it, there are things that could have been done differently. And I think that, the timing, they could have easily opened this on July 4th weekend and it would have been a lot better. But
Breaking World was never going to set the world on fire, right? But Mackey's comment and how the news ran with it about, when he was on tour in Italy, that had to hurt. You know what I'm saying? That didn't help. Channel rating for vengeance. Okay, this is name saying he watched videos and reviews of this Superman, and it was one video where the guy showed screenshots, the publishers, and gave it a 2 out of 5. The video was called "Superman is Woke and the Worst Movie Ever Made." So it's not just Fox News; it's all over YouTube.
But I don't. Who dives into random screenshot movie preview guy? I mean, have you guys done that? I mean, come on.
Well, no, but we're in the bag for this.
We're those guys.
We're those guys, and we didn't find that video.
We have 7 viewers right now. No, I'm saying the people watching us right now, we're random guys on YouTube, and people are watching us. So don't deride the people who do that.
Anecdotal. This is just anecdotal.
Jared.
I told my
silly
parents.
Jared.
I told my parents. I said I took the girls to see Superman, and they were like, "Why? That movie's so woke." And I was like, "Where did you hear that?" And they said Fox News.
Yeah. I mean,
don't get me wrong. There's a lot of 60, 70-year-old people that are going to say that. I agree.
Here's the thing. Look at how the election went. Fox News has more power than with just 60.
But this isn't an election, all right? Would those people have gone to see Superman anyway? You're talking about a bunch of 60-year-old people.
I think about
some, but not a lot. I mean, I'm telling you.
Quite a few people.
I'm not saying it's nothing, okay? I'm not saying it's nothing. Sure, 10 million. Okay, maybe it affected it by 10 million. Let's say that.
But
But if it's, I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's not the reason that it wasn't a successful.
No, I didn't
opening
say it's
weekend
the
box
only
office.
reason, but
It's
it's
not
a
the,
big.
yeah, it's not the
Right.
only reason. There's
The
multiple
reason it's not a successful opening weekend box office is because nobody likes Superman anymore, and that hurts my soul.
I
So
agree
there you
with that.
I disagree with that.
I knew that from the comic shop. Like, I mean, I knew that in 2014.
No, I disagree with that. I think that, at the end of the day, like I said earlier, that DCEU had a terrible reputation. They had to overcome that. Those little comments that Gunn made right before the movie came out didn't help, but that was probably a small little boop, boop. But the Fox News thing definitely affected it as well. Why do aliens only attack the USA in all movies, Nene? I think it's because most movies are made in America. That's probably our greatest export as a country.
Yeah, no, I know, man. Like Independence Day, it has to fly right over the White House like it knows what goes on there. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway.
Well, no, it attacked other capitals in Independence Day, right? Didn't Moscow get taken out too?
Oh, yeah.
London got hit.
It attacked other capitals. And it attacked
the way to go, Independence Day. It's the only film.
Yeah.
No, you remember those tentacles. Those tentacles came up in Man of Steel in the Indian Ocean.
That's right.
Yes.
And you got to watch out for those tentacles, Jason.
Yeah, he was all the way across. The guy in the blue Superman shirt probably yells at kids. Do you yell at kids? Jared would know.
Okay. So before we read Jared's next comment, we just want everyone to know Jared is he's a Marvel guy that hates all things DC. All right. All right.
We tried to force Jared on my channel, Comic Book Cinema, to come see this movie with us in theaters, and we couldn't even force him to come. We even told him
not entirely fair, Jonathan.
Jared hates DC.
That might be a misrepresentation. I was in that group chat.
Yeah.
Hush, Jason, hush.
I like Jonathan's version better. It's more fun.
We couldn't get him to come.
Is not
he just said, I hate DC.
Yeah,
just like
screw you guys.
We're telling you guys the truth.
Oh, we got more. What is name saying? Why did Man of Steel and Batman v Superman collect 680 to 850 million? It was considered a failure, and Batman 2022 770 million, the success. Superman is going for 550 to 650.
I think 650 is looking like it might be all the money.
I'll answer that real quick in a quick, easy way, because after 2020, things were different at the box office. COVID honestly ruined movies in so many different ways, not just people being afraid to go out without their little COVID mask, but also these idiot studios, starting with Warner Brothers. They were the number one idiot. They started putting out their brand new releases straight to their streaming service instead of putting them in theaters. So that conditioned audiences over time to think, well, why would I go see this in the theaters when I can just wait a few weeks? And that's another thing. They're starting to reduce that window. The window used to be 3 to 6 months before you could see a movie on home video. But now you wait 2-3 weeks, and these idiotic studio heads are putting that same movie on their streaming services. So we're conditioning audiences to say, well, I'm not going to go see it in the theaters, which, by the way, that's where movie studios make most, if not 95% of all their profits. We're conditioning audiences to say, we're just going to wait till it comes out on streaming because we only got to wait a few weeks.
Yeah. Streaming is a Ponzi scheme. There are no profits in streaming, and there will never be any profits in streaming, except unless you're Netflix. If you're Netflix, there are profits in streaming. If you're HBO Max, Disney Plus, if you're any of them, all you're doing is losing money there.
Because they don't have the numbers that Netflix has.
Right.
Well, Netflix had all that pre-streaming revenue built up before they even launched their streaming service, and so they were doing mail-in DVDs for how long? Like 10 years before they did streaming. And so it's one of those situations where you're looking at it and you're looking at all the revenue stream that they have. Same thing with Amazon. It's the reason that Amazon can just go ahead and have a streaming service, and it's just a drop in the bucket. Amazon has $685 billion in assets, guys. They don't care if they're losing money and pouring it down a rat hole through a show like Rings of Power that they've spent tons of money, almost $1 billion on. They don't care. Why? because they want to be able to say they're the ones that are putting out that content. And
Right.
the thing is, Warner Brothers has nothing close to that. They can't do that. And that's the problem. That, you know, you're talking about a company that it sounds like a lot, but $100 billion for a media company is not a lot to have in total assets. And so they don't have what Disney has. They don't have what Amazon has. It's going to start showing if they don't start turning these into very good profits. Yeah, Barbie was huge for them at the box office. It was huge. They needed more of that, and they have not got it since.
They're about to have the #1 movie of the year next year, though. I guarantee you that.
No, that's not. That's Universal, Jason, with Nolan. That's
really?
the thing. Yes, they ran away Christopher Nolan, the best director of our time. Nolan sent that tweet out, and Oppenheimer was his first Universal film.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought that was Warner Brothers.
Oh, they ran away Christopher Nolan with their stupid antics by putting out these brand new movies.
Tenet. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, they put Tenet straight on freaking HBO Max. And that's what Nolan tweeted out. He said, you go to sleep thinking you're working for one of the most prestigious movie studios, and you wake up, I forget exactly what he said, finding out that you're working with one of the lowest streaming services or something along those lines. But they pissed off Nolan. He's gone.
That Odyssey movie looks dope.
I would agree in trying to blame Superman's semi-failure on streaming if a couple of weeks prior Jurassic World Rebirth hadn't opened to $322.6 million.
And granted, there were reasons for that.
Go from Tuesday, you know.
As we mentioned, there are reasons. That was a holiday weekend.
Not as
right?
popular.
So there are reasons, but still,
as dinosaurs. People worldwide. Superman's just not a worldwide popular character. He's very popular in America, but
because he's truth, justice, and the American way, baby.
And that's another thing. We didn't see any type of patriotism in this movie either. Like even just an American flag in the background. Can't have that.
The Kents had one.
Yeah,
I think the Kents had one.
How much they put an American flag, a huge one, in the background of Spider-Man.
Yep.
When it first came out.
Well,
and
that's because it was 2001.
Superman movie. You know, I mean, how much has the world changed? WB has certainly made a lot of mistakes with various franchises, be it DC, Potter, Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones. Yeah, that Game of Thrones is a mess. We are waiting for the Harry Potter series. They have to try.
I don't have very much hope.
I've never been interested in Harry Potter, guys. Never.
I will reiterate.
Never been interested.
I am old. I'm old, and Harry Potter missed me on account of.
Yep, me too. Totally missed me. Totally missed me.
I love.
By the time those books were popular, I was a junior in high school, and I would rather read Lord of the Rings and other stuff. So yeah,
I was in college, so it doesn't. It just never. I am an arrested adolescent, but it's nostalgia that drives it. So if you weren't out.
Me and Jason were wearing Jinkos when those books came out.
Hey, man.
And my church told me not to read them, and I read all of them.
Flags were Michael Bay's the Transformers movies had a big American flag.
Well, it's because they were semi-militaristic. That's why. So there was a military element to it with the guys from the military. So that was different. It was a little, and they had a lot of the White House and president stuff too. So
I'm going to nail everybody down with a number. I want a number on this question from everyone. Two numbers. We got another huge superhero opening this coming weekend, right?
Okay.
Fantastic Four is coming out. So not this coming weekend, the one after. Fantastic Four is coming. Superman just opened with 217 global, right? I want two numbers. Number one,
225 global.
Okay. No, I don't want to know what it's going to make. I want to know what is the number that Fantastic Four makes that totally embarrasses Superman. Like, oh my God, can you believe how bad they just stomped all over Superman?
I don't think it's going to happen.
What is the number that comes in that like, oh my God, Marvel has been stomped by Superman. Look how bad they're doing compared to Superman. I want the high end embarrassing Superman. I want the low end. I don't care if it happens or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want you to, in case it happens, I want you to say, like, what's the number that you would be like, oh my God, they just really embarrassed Superman, or oh my God, Marvel's totally embarrassed now. Superman stomped them. Okay, so we'll go around the horn. I'm gonna go the other way. Jason, what's the number that embarrasses Superman? What's the number that embarrasses themselves?
226 million for embarrassing, because that movie looks like a mess. I mean, I'm gonna go see it, but it looks like a mess. I would say 200 if it opens below. I mean, so I would say 200, and on the low end, 226. Honestly, I could see Fantastic Four making like 186 million. I just don't. There's no hype for it that I see. And that trailer where they were like, "Oh yeah, Galactus wants my kid," like that didn't do it for me. And why does the Thing have a beard? Okay, sorry.
Because it's based on the comics, Jason. The Thing grows a beard in the comics all the time. If you do it in the comics, you gotta do it in the movie.
Name one.
Jonathan. Okay, so Jonathan, what's the number? I mean, and you don't want to say this. So what? How high would it have to be for you to be like, oh man, that's embarrassing to Superman?
Well, okay, so we're just to be clear, Superman made 225 million worldwide opening weekend, and it made 125 million domestically opening weekend.
I'm just looking worldwide. So 225 is the adjusted. Okay.
Okay, so I would say worldwide, if Fantastic Four came out with like close to Jurassic Park numbers, like 300, we would all say, oh my gosh, Fantastic Four just stumped Superman. But if it comes in, I mean, anything less than 200, like if we're looking at 150, which is still, by the way, not a bad opening, because I like showing my phone, guys.
Is that?
We're talking, hey,
doesn't look
Fantastic Four.
natural.
So hey, if Fantastic Four comes out domestically with like a 115, that's still not bad, because that's still close to Guardians 3 numbers.
Okay, so is it bad enough to say, oh man, Superman kicked your butt?
No, it would have to be low, like domestically, it would have to be low, like 85 mil opener. And I really hope that doesn't happen. But with Marvel, this movie's not going to make as much as Superman. It's not. Overall, like once the whole theatrical run is over, I say it's safe to estimate the Superman's going to be around that 700 mil territory, 600 to 700 mil. If Fantastic Four does those Thunderbolt numbers, like 400 or 500 mil, oh Lord, it's not going to be good.
All right. Tim, what embarrasses Superman? What embarrasses Marvel?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, if it's anything significantly over that 217 that we opened with for Superman's going to have a lot of explaining to do, because it wasn't a fraction as pushed for advertising and co-branding and all that stuff that's important. So, and so basically what I would say is, yeah, if we're going to get anywhere in the 250 plus worldwide for opening weekend, I think that's where I would say Superman should really be embarrassed. That means it got bookended by two movies that aren't as good that ended up kicking its butt at the box office. So, so that's just something. And then
what's the low number that embarrasses Fantastic Four?
If Fantastic Four, yeah, I mean, I would say if Fantastic Four hits, kind of in that Thunderbolts category, I think that's when people will kind of say, yeah, this was just not a good year for Marvel. I mean, releasing this many this close together and picking your banner one to be released right after Superman, probably not a great idea. So if we kind of get those kind of numbers like we got from Thunderbolts, what was their opening weekend? It was like, it wasn't even 100, was it? I think. What was it, John?
He's gonna show us on the screen.
You gotta tell us, man. Jesus,
76.
That's the
mess. Yeah, see, that would just be embarrassing, right? I mean, if we end up getting a 76 it wasn't even 100. I mean, that would be something that I think Marvel has some explaining to do at that point. So
what do you think?
Honestly, I expect Superman to make more than that this weekend. So that would be really embarrassing.
My number that embarrasses Superman is 225. If Fantastic Four comes in 225 worldwide, that's significant enough.
That's what Superman made, Dan.
Oh no, you said okay. That's the adjusted number.
217. 217.
225 is the corrected number. Because 217 is based on early reports, and then the real number comes in on Monday. So Superman made 225, 250. 250, that's an extra $25,000 is a nice round number. That's a number that
$25 million.
$25 million. That's a big victory. If it comes in, I think like under 190 or less is an embarrassment for Marvel and where it's become as a studio, because this is the big movie for them this year. And 190 or less compared to Superman means like then you're like, we shouldn't have went that close to Superman. We should have just pushed it to Christmas time, because there's nothing this Christmas. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I
don't know. The reason I don't know about that is I just don't know that a 200 million opening is really going to be feasible. We'll see. But hey, man, I will take no.
I love Moesha #1.
Look. I will take no crap from a guy who bought tickets and went to every single Tina Turner farewell concert, Jared. I will take absolutely no crap, okay? Yes, I do love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but
I do too.
Completely unrelated.
How much do you love Moesha, Tim?
Moesha slaps.
Moesha's not my jam. Okay.
So what do you guys think the embargo when it lists? What are they going to say? Obviously, we know Disney buys reviews, but
yes,
they didn't buy reviews with Snow White. Like there were bad reviews that got out.
No, they brought
enough money to save Snow White.
There was never going to be enough to overcome the actual opinion of Snow White. That's the problem.
Do you think the actual opinion of Fantastic Four will be negative or positive?
I think you're going to see positive, but I think it's all going to be pretty generated.
It's probably going to be 70% positive if I had to guess right now.
Yeah.
That's about right. Do you think if it's not, that affects it?
What?
Do you think if there's some bad reviews that get out?
If it gets down to the 40s, 50s, then that will affect it. But I don't think it's going to be that low. But there's
already a lot of the political talk, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how much of it is real, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what Nene says.
Name says Marvel now makes garbage. If F4 is a dud, we'll get by with Avengers, and then the quality is questionable again. Yeah, they
that's
don't
all
make
they do.
Great stuff anymore.
That's all they do is kick the can down the road until we do a compilation film. That's all they do now.
So Jonathan, with everything that has happened, you've seen Jurassic Park, you've seen Superman, you've seen Thunderbolts way underperform. Do you still think guaranteed Doomsday is $1 billion movie?
Yes. And I have a pie to prove it.
Yep. I'm ready. It is absolutely not $1 billion movie. It will not be. Again, this Superman is probably going to come in under 7, which is a huge disappointment. And Fantastic Four, I'm predicting, now I don't know if I'm right, but I'm predicting Fantastic Four will come in under that. So it'll be like 6, 550, something like that. Those are the primary heroes that are going to be in this Doomsday movie. There's no Captain America. There's no Iron Man. We know where Iron Man is. Iron Man is playing Dr. Doom.
So, what are you talking about? Ironheart's right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are no
Jason
anybody cares about.
That's strike one.
Yeah.
Dude, Mephisto's going to fix it all.
Yeah.
Hey, but you can say what you want to about Ironheart, but Mephisto was pretty awesome.
Me and Tim have not watched the last 3. And
yeah, I can't tell you if it was awesome or not. After the first 3, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
The first 3 were brutal.
Those 3. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I wouldn't have watched past the first 3 if I didn't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And look, the first 3 were terrible. The first 3 were like a 2 to me, but then the last 3 bumped it up to a 4.
That's not high enough for me to sit through.
No, no, I can't.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
selling me
yeah,
on it here,
yeah.
Jonathan.
3 more
Yeah.
hours to get that to a 4.
If it would have just been Mephisto, like just his part, if we would have just taken that excerpt from the show, he was like an 8. I mean,
So
I
let
love
me-
his
I'll
performance.
find that on YouTube. I'll
So
find that on
just-
YouTube.
just
Just
look
for
up
the
the-
record, Jonathan, you
Yeah.
need to tell me that leading into Doomsday, you're going to have a horrible Marvel show in Ironheart, which you agree at best is a 4.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty far removed at that point.
If
but yeah, keep going.
Fantastic Four is the next
Right.
movie, if it's not good,
Yeah, it's that just
so
what
you're
Tim
coming
said.
off with just crap, and everybody be like Robert Downey Jr.
Thunderbolts, here's the thing. Thunderbolts wasn't crap. It was a good movie. And if F4 is still a good movie, that's all that matters.
That's
and
true. But
absence
what if
makes,
F4 sucks?
absence makes the heart grow fonder, Jason. And it's going to be a year and a half until we get our next Marvel movie. And I think by that time, audiences are going to be clamoring to go out and see a good Avengers movie led by She-Hulk and Ironheart.
Jonathan, all right. Now I know you're not serious. You like,
name.
you do have to see a world where that movie doesn't make $1 billion. Right?
He was saying why they don't bring back the old Spiders, the $1 billion box office receipts. I think he's talking about Spider-Man.
Hey,
Yeah, here's the thing.
I was going to say, here's the thing, Tim. Here's the thing.
They're more than likely.
They're not
They're
going to
more
have
than likely-
Ironheart and She-Hulk in the poster, okay? It's going to be freaking Thor. It's going to be James Marsden Cyclops. It's going to be all those characters that audiences actually like on the poster. And that's what's going to sell everybody. They're going to put those people in the trailer. It's going to make $1 billion. At least.
Oh God, it is not going to.
They're going to bring back.
$1
They're
billion.
going to bring back all of those characters. They are, and
It may lose $1 billion. It may manage to do
I
that.
don't think that that's a guaranteed billion. I don't think a guaranteed billion is the nostalgia polls.
You
anymore.
yourself
I
said
think
that nobody's going to the movies, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yes, but they will show up in droves for an Avengers film.
But
They will
why?
show up.
They'll
It's
show
gonna be
up like they
It's
didn't
gonna
for
be
the
like
first
Just like-
show. People are
Here's
just gonna-
105
crawling
year
out of the
Ian
woodwork.
McKellen. Congratulations for coming and paying
Yes,
$25
people love
to
that.
see it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Thor, freaking Captain America will be in the movie. I
They
promise
have
you.
all of the
He'll
Fox
probably be a
films.
bad guy too.
They
Probably.
have the Fox X-Men films that are actually good with those characters on Blu-ray, or they have Disney Plus. They can just watch those again at home. You know,
Yeah, but seeing them
Absolutely.
come back, Dan. Seeing
And
them come
also,
back.
I think Deadpool Wolverine is going to do more to hurt this than help
I
because
just pointed out
they-
how ridiculous.
yeah, they promised everything that we would see in Deadpool Wolverine, and I'm not certain that that's enough of a delivery to get $1 billion just because we're seeing characters that are over 45 years old by the time they get on screen.
Does anybody want to comment on maybe talking about why they don't bring in the old Spider-Man? Does anybody? Are we still?
I thought we just did. I mean, yes, they could bring them back, but that doesn't guarantee $1 billion.
They'll be back
Well,
for Civil
yeah.
War.
I thought you were still talking about
They will
Doom,
be.
but
Okay,
yeah, no,
okay. Buffy
well, I
is
mean,
way
no way
better
home-
than Smallville. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know. I preferred Smallville, but Buffy was a great show, and haters just get away.
Thor 5.
Yeah,
I'd
because
give
Love
Thor
and
5.
Thunder was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, he's asking, what are we hearing about Thor 5?
Or I think he's
Yeah.
hearing that it's going to happen. I mean, I would
Hopefully
go to
not.
Thor. Now listen.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, listen.
Some
Me
things we just need
Me
to
and
let
Jonathan
die,
will get
man.
to agree for once because I didn't hate Love and Thunder, and I don't
Ugh.
think he did
It was-
either. But
It was
Jason and Tim are going
atrocious.
to
It
rip
was
out their
atrocious.
hair.
You guys are
wide
Trash. Trash.
garbage.
I like
It
movies
wasn't
that are
garbage.
fun.
It was better than the Marvels, better than Secret Invasion.
Well,
better than-
drowning
Guy
is
with
not as
TD.
bad as being lit on fire. That doesn't.
It's
Takai
probably better
Waititi.
than Dark World.
Takai
It's better than
Waititi
the
is
second
awful
Thor.
for that franchise. It didn't work. They just need to. They need to just
I-
completely
I
forget
would
about
never-
it.
I would
His
watch
love
Love and
interest is
Thunder.
now dead. It doesn't even make sense to continue anymore.
I would watch Love and Thunder again before I sat and watched Dark World again. I mean, I just would. There's
Hey,
more.
Dark
entertainment.
World has some okay stuff in it. Okay, like
Hey, Love and Thunder has Guns N' Roses songs and good jokes. So
okay,
I'm ready.
okay, all right. It also has like a villain that's like from another movie. It seems like Christian Bale has no idea what the hell he's doing in that movie.
No, he did a good job.
He's being serious. The juxtaposition didn't bother me.
He's like the one thing about the movie that I liked. But
hey, I got a hot take. I got a hot take for you guys.
Okay, Jonathan's got a hot take. Let's see what it is.
Are we going to have a whole Nerd Champ debate right now? What's going on? Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, go ahead. Let him have
I think Thor: Love and Thunder is better than Blade 2.
Oh,
I can see that.
Man,
I'm not
so old.
I'm not a fan of the
No, I
Blade
disagree with
I'm not a
that.
fan of the Blade sequel.
Barely,
like
my
Blade.
memory, it's better.
My memory of Blade 2 is so fuzzy. It is so fuzzy, man.
Okay,
here's the thing, man. I think Goye, I think he gets way too much credit for those sequels when in reality, comic book movies were just a different breed back then. And I think that the sequels to Blade were just not that good. I'll just say that. I think they get way too over ballyhooed by people that have nostalgic feels for them. That's just my opinion. But yeah.
Name is speculating they bring back Iron Man to kill him, so that you can make way for Ironheart.
We already did this, though. You know, we already killed.
Yeah, we killed Robert Downey Jr. and we're bringing him back. Yes, I agree, Jonathan.
Well,
it's one of the
Jason,
stupidest things I've ever heard in my life.
He's not Tony Stark anymore.
It's so stupid. It's
Dr.
so
Doom.
stupid. It is so stupid.
I don't love the idea either. It makes me want to stick
one
my.
One of the best ideas and like one of the coolest sacrifices.
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, I think we've all. I think here's the thing: we don't need to interrupt each other and get over emotional because we all agree the RDJ thing for Doom is just desperate. It just is, and we can just agree and move on. So there you go.
It's still going to be intriguing to see, but yes, it was a.
We all agree.
Yeah, I think we all. I'm sorry. That just makes me so mad.
I'm gonna go see it. But it's stupid. There's just
what are you guys gonna do when Robert Downey Jr. Doom kills Tom Holland on screen?
No, it's just ridiculous. It's all.
I'm sure they'll just
here's why that won't happen. Listen, here's why that won't happen. Because Sony won't agree to it. They won't let that happen. Sony still has a vested monetary interest in that version of Spider-Man. They're not going to let him come on some Disney product and get killed. They just will not agree to it.
One condition, I could see this. That's how we get Miles Morales.
No, they've already introduced that we're getting a Miles Morales, haven't they?
Listen, you know what? Screw it. If I get canceled, I get canceled. I'm going to tell you right now. Sony is run by a bunch of Asians, and the Asians are not over here trying to pander to DEI. They don't give a crap about that. They're not sold on Miles Morales. They're fine to have him in their cartoons, but they have enough sense to know that there's no money in making a live-action Miles Morales because they're Asian and they're not white West Coasters who think, oh, yeah, the world is just clamoring for Black Spider-Man. They're smarter than that. They don't have white guilt because they're Asian. They don't.
The spider will be
put some white guilt on us because we bombed them.
I don't like the phrasing milked, but here we are.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He'll retire. I don't think he's just gonna live off Zendaya's money. He seems like he doesn't he's mentioned a bunch of times that he wants to just quit acting. So
so maybe they do kill him, so we get Miles Morales.
Amen.
And
he could pull a Brendan Fraser and disappear for 30 years and then just randomly come back. So
I honestly hope that they do what Tom Holland said recently in an interview and make Spider-Man gay. That would be great.
Listen,
progressive, dude. Progressive.
If Disney,
we're doing some deep polls.
Spider-Man outright, Peter Parker would already be gay, and Miles Morales would have been introduced 7 pictures ago. But Sony, again, they're Asian and they're not in the DEI Olympics. They don't care. They ain't trying to buy a ticket to that show. They're actually trying to make money and sell tickets to audiences.
My wife is also Asian, and she always looks at me like, you Americans, you get so caught up with stuff that just doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just have been pontificating about a random Superman movie for over 2 hours. This is America right here.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh, I got a hot take before we end, John. You're gonna love this.
Man, we're doing tons of hot takes.
Are you
today.
ready
Go
for
ahead.
a hot take? So I've been watching all these DC property movies, especially some with my daughter. Josh Whedon's Justice League is a better movie than Zack Snyder's. It is. It's a better movie.
They're both garbage.
But
no,
it's
they're both
better.
garbage. No, it doesn't matter if it's better garbage. It's garbage. I don't care.
I've
They're both
only
garbage.
ever seen Welcome to America.
And then there's another one above from Nene. Spider-Man was originally planned to have 3 trilogies.
Spider-Man was originally planned to have 3 trilogies: school, college, and job. Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot of trilogies, man.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost done.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. Justice League movies were terrible. I don't care which one was better. They were both atrocious. They were both awful, torturous.
Snyder's Justice League. Personally, you guys know that I favor the DCEU better or more than most, but Snyder's Justice League was better. The characters were developed way better, but it's freaking 4 hours.
It's 14 and a half hours long. Characters.
Who wants to watch a 4-hour movie?
Characters make the most asinine decisions in Snyder's universe. Everyone is so mopey. Everyone is so sad. It's just nothing but sadness.
It was like that in Whedon's version too. I just hated.
No, there's some moments of levity in.
No, there's
Here's
not.
what I'm going to say.
There's not. There's not.
Listen,
it's a terrible movie.
I have not and will not ever watch the Snyder Cut. I don't have that kind of time in my life. The highest praise I've ever heard from various people, not just Jonathan, it's just, it's slightly better than the theatrical version.
I disagree.
That's the highest praise. And the lowest praise is even worse. And that's 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, and here's the other thing. I will give Whedon, and Jonathan's going to wig out, but the Whedon version at least gave Henry Cavill his only opportunity to play actual Superman for like 4 minutes in a montage with a CGI removed mustache. Where they tried to explain why people would miss. They're trying to explain why people would miss this Superman, because in Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, they did not establish a Superman that anybody would mourn or miss. So he was like, okay, I'm going to give a 3-minute montage of this guy playing actual Superman, and we're going to put it on grainy video to try to hide the fact that Mission Impossible won't let him shave his mustache. But at least he got to play Superman for 5 minutes in a film.
He did.
He did.
And his costume at the end of the movie is not black and silver.
It wasn't the comics, Jason. We got to base everything off the comics, just like the comics.
One comic, John.
Oh, there's a lot more. He had a mullet and a black suit for several issues.
Not many, and it's one of the worst.
I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy that says it has to be comic accurate through the story and through the interpretation and through the visual representation. All I want is something that's entertaining and true to the character, that does the character justice. That's all I really want. Okay.
Nene, where are you from, by the way? Tell us in the comments what country you're in.
Yeah, I need to know.
I'm not
I need
really
to
sure.
know
Oh, there are tons of real fights here about
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
And
Dude, there is a group text.
Yeah. Well, listen, we enjoy this. We're just, we're just busting on each other because that's what we enjoy doing. We're not going to come to blows. He's from Russia.
Russia?
Right?
Russia.
Oh,
Are you from Russia? Are you shitting me?
His name is Russian, man. He's up there with Vlad, man.
Dude,
doing the thing.
Hey, Russian death metal. Tell me what bands I need to look up. Tell me what Russian death metal bands I need to look up
Vlad the Impaler,
now.
right? Vlad?
I mean, that's where Slaughter to Prevail came from.
Oh, okay, but isn't his name the vocalist of that band Vlad or something like that?
Yeah, he shows up in like a couple Falling in Reverse songs too.
Yeah,
but yeah, give me some unknown Russian death metal.
Natasha
and
Vodka.
Okay,
is vodka a band or should I just drink it?
Yeah. You definitely should drink it.
Yes,
it's very good. Yes. Natasha might be Black Widow. I mean, she's Russian.
Hey, Natasha Romanoff. There you go.
I need some metal bands.
Like,
this is give me like some underground Russian death metal.
Yeah, in Russia, are you upset that the Black Widow was disrespected by not getting a movie until after she was already
What are you
dead?
talking about? She broke her nose, dude. You remember that?
All right.
All right.
Well, we've been going for like 2 hours here, guys.
That's
What do you
right.
think?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Because we really know how to do it. So anyway, did anybody have any big monumental points about James Gunn's Superman? I think we were off the reservation on that.
It was a good
Quite a
movie.
bit.
It could have made more money in the theater.
Yeah. Anybody
Yeah,
else got something?
think-
Yeah, it was a good movie. I let's see if we got some
There
death
are a
metal.
lot of people. There are a lot of people that think that that think some of these side characters were good. It'll be really interesting to see how they're all going to be used moving forward. I'm hopeful that they can keep this universe together. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
My viewing experience was outstanding, but I'm used to getting disappointed, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just pulled the plug. I mean, I wouldn't. That kind of stuff.
Superman.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to cancel this whole
Big
DCU.
wheels keep on rolling.
Yeah.
And you can't stop them even if the box office doesn't please Dan. Yeah.
I would like to see it keep going.
yeah.
But I just don't. I mean, it is not a good Red Guardian Florence Pugh accent. Oh, hey, she did a good accent, I
Oh, they
guess.
did a good accent. Yeah, once those wheels are rolling, baby, if you can't stop them.
Also, it's made
Stop 'em,
300,
man.
and we're up now. Now that we can officially say 312 million, do
Yeah.
you feel somewhat better?
I
I
don't.
don't. First of all, I still think that that's a little high. I think that it's still somewhere probably more in the just high 200s. That high threes is still. I still don't think there's any way that it's made that jump over the last couple of days. There's just no way. So, I understand there's a lot of
show
people
you
that
his
really
phone
want.
again.
What's that?
Jonathan, pull it up.
Yeah, you're gonna make Jonathan
No.
show you his phone again.
I was just gonna say, like, we were talking earlier about how everyone talks about the Batman, how it was such a huge box office success. It didn't even make 800 million at the box office.
Oh,
Dan, you're not good at showing
Yeah,
your
I'm
phone.
white
Right now.
out.
Yeah, Dan, that's just a
Mojo
that's
has
just a
it at
white.
261.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. High 200s is reasonable. To assume that it would have jumped 50 million from yesterday is just not reasonable. So I don't know, man. I just feel like we're just not going to catch any of the momentum. Don't read the Reddit updates, man. The Reddit updates are always going to be by some guy that's either pie in the sky or in the depths of despair. You just need to actually just wait on the actual numbers to come out as they're released from the studio. And I'm telling you right now, going into this weekend, we're going to be under 300 million, which is not going to be impressive. This weekend, that's what it should have made in the opening weekend, and we're not even at that going into this next weekend. I don't know. It's
What
going
does
to be
it
rough.
say? What are we looking at? You got to read it to me. I can't.
Yeah,
see
I'm-
that.
The highest Tuesday box office of 2025, the highest Wednesday box
But
office.
with what, like 12 million or something stupid,
Yeah.
right?
17 million on Tuesday.
Okay.
And then as
So
far as
yeah,
Wednesday,
but not the
Wednesday
50
it
or
made
60
11.8.
that gets it over 300. Like
those are
Jason's
just
talking
domestic
about. It's
numbers.
just-
Those are not
it's-
international.
But still, it's not going to get over 300. It's not going to get over 300 like Jason said. There's just no way. The math isn't there. And so
They
I
are
just
never
don't know.
making a Red Sun movie, dude. I'm sorry.
They might one day.
No.
Give it 10 years.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
hey,
Now,
if
if
this
you want
really
to be
takes
Snyder,
off,
Snyder,
hey, if they get to the bottom of the barrel like Marvel has gotten, then you got to start throwing stuff at the
Hey
wall.
man, all I want James Gunn to do at some point, get me a Bizarro Superman. Okay, that would be get me a real Bizarro Superman. I would love it. So
I tell you, Ultraman's coming back as Bizarro. He went through a dimensional
Yeah.
portal at the end.
yeah,
Hey, Mixelpick. We have Mixelpick in here. I turned to Tim and said, "That's Mixelpick," because the
yeah.
Justice Gang was fighting a dimensional imp. So,
There
and
you
no,
go.
they would not have handled Mixelpick. Mixelpick
Okay.
is one of the most powerful heroes in the comics.
I've got a review here, okay? This is Abigail, everybody. Say hey. Abigail, tell them what you thought of Superman.
It was great.
What was your favorite part?
There we go.
The crypto scene.
Crypto. See.
But Abigail, what do you think about Henry Cavill's Superman?
True. This is 100% true story. The first time I made Abigail watch Man of Steel, I did it for a podcast. She looked at me in the middle of it as Superman was crashing through buildings and said, "Dad, I don't think Superman would do that." And I went,
Oh, she has a great understanding of the character.
Well,
it's a beautiful thing.
Certain things children can't understand.
Yeah, yeah. Certain things grown people can't understand, like what Superman's about. But anyway, till next time, I am Dan. That is Tim. We are the Nerd Champs. We have Jonathan from Comic Book Cinema. What do they need to look for, Jonathan, on your channel?
Well, today on the channel, Comic Book Cinema, we just dropped the Superman Out of the Theater reaction video. It features both Tim and Dan. We all went to the theaters here in Ohio and saw the movie, gave our thoughts right out of the theater. So really fun video there. Check it out.
Jason, you've got the podcast. Is there anything new, or tell them where they
nothing,
can find
nothing new. Listen, my daughter last week was in a stage version of Beetlejuice, and I worked backstage on it. So my entire life has been Beetlejuice very recently. But if you check Jason Explains It All, maybe in the future. I don't know. It just depends on how many plays my daughter does. Jeez Louise. Dude, they did Beetlejuice in front
We
of,
looked
like,
at stop it. You said it the third time. Jason. Stop it. Stop.
It's showtime.
Anyway, all right. So Dan, we've got our Slab Cinema channel. We're gonna start telling people about Slab Cinema. Slab Cinema. Go ahead and check us out there. It's at Slab Cinema on YouTube. We're gonna start doing quick reviews of movies. It's gonna be on a separate channel. We started doing them on our channel. We're just gonna do it on a separate channel. And then the other thing that we've got going on, our Superman Loop. Make sure you check out our Superman Loop that we've got going on right now. This will be up on that loop starting tomorrow, as well as all of our Slab Cinema Superman content. So check all that stuff out. Thanks so much for joining us. Dan, did you have anything else you want to leave with?
Just this. Until next time, we are the Nerd Champs and OH.
I-O.
Hail State.
Howdy, tidy.